Hey, Matt. Hey, Dave. It's me, Jess, here, and I have a question for you. What are you guys doing for Block?
Oh, great question. What are we doing?
Know what I'm doing for Block, and you're doing, Jess. So we're doing a mini Do Go On festival called Block Live.
Okay, so you've made plans for the three of us.
Yeah, check your calendar. October 5 and October 6, 2024 on day 1. We've got, which is the Saturday afternoon, we've got a Do Go On live podcast followed by a live book cheat podcast. And then day 2, that's the Sunday, it's another episode of Do Go On, and these are block topics, so they're going to be big ones, followed by a live Who Knew It with Matt Stewart.
Oh my God, my favourite podcast hosted by Matt Stewart.
Exactly. And the good news is, Matt, you can watch live in the studio if you want to come to Stupid Old Studios and buy an in-person ticket, or watch it online, streamed anywhere in the world, live or on catch-up.
They're setting up a bar out the front. It's going to be sick.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be really, really fun. So, yeah, get your tickets. Come on down or park yourself on the couch and watch along.
Fantastic. And before we get to that, Matt, we've actually got a live Who Knew It with Matt Stewart coming up in August for the 100th episode.
100th episode, August the 3rd at Comedy Republic. You, me, Big Wet.
Oh, my
Mish
goodness.
Wittrup, Ben Russell, Little Dry, I think is what we call him. Saranjaya Mana. And is there anyone else? I think that's...
You'll be there.
Oh, no, I'll be there as well.
The house will be there.
The house.
And you can get tickets to all of these shows via our website, dogoonpod.com.
Millions of people have lost weight with personalized plans from Noom. Like Evan, who can't stand salads and still lost 50 pounds.
Salads generally for most people are the easy button, right? For me, that wasn't an option. I never really was a salad guy. That's just not who I am. But Noom worked for me.
Get your personalized plan today at Noom.com. Real Noom user compensated to provide their story. In 4 weeks, the typical Noom user can expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. Individual results may vary.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah, Randy.
Since we founded Bombas, we've always said our socks, underwear, and T-shirts are super soft. Any new ideas?
Maybe sublimely soft.
Or disgustingly cozy.
Wait, what?
I got it. Bombas. Absurdly comfortable essentials for yourself
And for those facing homelessness.
because one purchased equals one donated.
Wow, did we just write an ad?
Yes.
Bombas. Big comfort for everyone. Go to bombas.com/ACAST and use code ACAST for 20% off your first purchase.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Do Go On. My name is Dave Warnocky, and as always, I'm here with Matt Stewart and Jess Perkins in tow.
Hello, I'm an in tow.
And Matt's an intern.
I have hyphenated my name. I am Jess Perkins in tow.
In tow.
Great, where does that come from?
Where's the hyphen?
After perk.
Okay.
Where's it come from? The moon.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, how this show works is one of the three of us goes away, researches a topic, often suggested to us by one of our wonderful listeners, or many of them sometimes. There's, people...
Oh, sometimes none of them.
Sometimes none of them.
Sometimes only a few of the shit listeners. That's happened.
Yeah, that's happened before.
And you'll know the episodes.
Oh, you'll know all right.
Because the topics were dog shit.
They were yuck!
The Titanic, what were you thinking?
How dare you? They go away, they research a topic, they bring it back to the other two, who always listen very politely and sweetly and ask really intelligent questions.
Like, how much longer has this got to go?
Yeah. And in this case, it is Dave's turn, which means it's Matt and my turn to come together to become one, but like we're one, but we're two because we're conjoined twins. We're the sass twins.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to sass the shit out of you, Dave.
Looking forward to it.
While you tell us...
Yeah, you piece of shit.
Yeah, you little bitch.
Please, sir, might have some more.
And Dave, we always start with a question to get us onto the topic.
Yes, that is true, Jess, and I have a question for you this week, and that is, which historical figure is often referred to as the lady with the lamp?
Oh, Florence Nightingale.
Florence Nightingale.
Well, you're both correct, but the first one to answer correctly
Thank you.
was Jess
What?
Perkins.
Woo!
Florence Nightingale.
Fuck you.
Well
Woo!
done, Jess.
Nah, good on ya.
Flono.
Flono.
Flony.
Flonai.
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 And we got there.
Bill Nye's sister,
Yes,
Flonai.
Flonai.
Science gal.
Well, she does double, I guess, in a bit of science as well. Do you know much about
I was about to say, I
Lady
got to
of
be
the Lamp?
honest, I know the name. I don't think I can tell you much else.
Exactly. So I had the similar thing. I put up 5 famous people to the vote. This has been voted for by the Patreon supporters at patreon.com/dogoonpod. And there were 5 people that I definitely knew maybe the one sentence summary on.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you much more.
She a
about
nurse?
Yeah, that's all I
And a bird?
Ooh.
50% correct there.
Okay.
She
so
is
just
a bird.
she was a big one in primary school. And maybe that's when you learnt about her as well. For some reason, it was, I reckon we spent a day learning about her in primary school.
We probably moved
I
on
can't
to
remember
somebody more
much.
relevant by that time, by the time we were in primary school, because we're so much younger than you.
Yeah, this was in a class we used to do called What Happened Yesterday.
Yeah, okay.
All right, everyone pick a topic from the news.
What happened yesterday? Let's find out.
Okay, this Florence Nightingale seems to be hitting it pretty big at the moment.
Seen this? Heard about this?
You're the Jay Leno of your primary school. That's so cute. Little hands in pockets.
Ripping on Flo Knight.
What else?
What else?
You seen this?
Florence was definitely on the list of people I've know very little about, but know the name. So put her up, and she won the vote. And the topic itself has been suggested by a few people. Anyone can suggest a topic at any time at dogoonpod.com. And thank you to Jacinta from Shell Harbour in New South Wales, who suggested it both in 2018 and 6 years later in 2024. I appreciate that ongoing enthusiasm.
That's awesome.
Do you think she forgot?
I honestly think she probably did.
Yeah.
Sarah Jane Brown from Auckland in New Zealand, Dan Heap and Greta Border in London, and Mike Winkler from Milwaukee.
Cool. That's a nice spread.
Yeah, thank you so
But
much.
yeah, I know very little actually. So
For the listeners, Dave is just spreading his butt cheeks right now.
Oh yeah, sorry, I wasn't talking about like the locations of those people.
It was quite a nice spread.
It was a beautiful spread.
Something for everyone.
Oh, it's a nice spread.
It's a nice spread.
Honestly, I was impressed with how flexible he is.
Yeah, just parting the cheeks.
Yeah, so I just
Call you Moses.
discovered I could do that this week, and I thought I might as well show. So anyway, I'll put those away, and I'll tell you about something.
Let me just pop those away. There we go.
Back in their case.
I was getting a little cold, and now I'm back. So Florence Nightingale was born on May 12th, 1820, to English parents William and Frances, known as Fanny Nightingale. Her father was born William Shaw, but had inherited the Nightingale name and family fortune.
Ooh.
And from then on, they were very wealthy.
How do you inherit a name?
It's like, he's from that part of society where you inherit an estate and you
can have the cash, but you got to take the name.
Yeah,
Honestly, I've seen Bridgerton. I get it.
exactly.
I
That's what
understand.
I'm talking about. But I'd love to. A long lost relative comes out and says, "You're no longer Dave Warnocky. You're now
Spuds McGee.
Spuds McGee." Why? You know what I thought of? David Doorknob. That's the first name.
Mine actually wasn't so bad.
Spuds McGee. It's a bit better.
David Doorknob.
Of the doorknobs?
You inherited the doorknob
I never
family
really
fortune.
thought about it, but yeah, the doorknob name must come from somewhere.
So yeah,
David Doorknob.
It's your turn to be a doorknob. That's something they say. It's a cute little thing that family says. Have a turn at being a doorknob.
have a go. So he became William Nightingale. Her mother, Fanny, was the daughter of an English MP and reformer, so they're also very well connected politically. Florence was born during her parents' extended honeymoon.
Okay.
Went for a
Whoa.
few years.
I was going to say, at least 9 months.
Yeah, well,
unless it was a out of wedlock.
And she's the second daughter too.
Oh my God.
How long is this
God.
honeymoon? And she was born at an Italian villa in the city of Florence, after which she is named.
Any relation?
What are the chances?
I like the name Florence.
Yeah,
Me too.
It's great.
It's cute.
Flo is a nice nickname.
Yeah.
Flozza. Florrie.
Rents.
Flurry, Fuzzer, Zed, Zizzy, Zabadaboo.
Florrie Doorknob. Oh, that's great. Her older sister, Parthenope. I'm serious.
I think the end of that's all we need. It's a note from me.
She was born in Naples earlier in the honeymoon and named Parthenope after the Greek settlement that preceded Naples. So they're both named after where they were born.
Oh, they didn't like Naples, though.
I think Florence really won the battle there.
Parthenope.
Parthenope.
They're obviously like I guess Naples?
But no,
so
she'll get called Nipples.
Yeah, Maple Nips or something.
Yeah, we can't do that. Let's give her a more sensible name, like Parthenope.
And apparently her nickname that Florence called her in letters was Parthy.
Oh,
Parthy.
Florence definitely got
Parthy?
the better deal there.
I actually looked up our names in case we are named after places we were born on our parents' honeymoons.
Okay, thank you for looking up our names.
Matt, is there a chance your parents were staying in Matt, the village in Switzerland? Which makes sense with your heritage.
Yeah, could have been. Dad might have been, tracking down the ancestries.
Yeah, population 361 in 2020. Matt has an unemployment rate of 0.94%, which is pretty brutal for the 3.39 people who are unemployed in the town.
Wow.
They've become
Hopefully
that
they're really old.
0.93.
Hopefully they're old or babies.
Yes, but unemployed means that they're seeking work. I think you're only counting unemployment if you're actually...
if you're an international man of leisure.
You can't be old or a baby.
Yeah.
Jess,
Is it spelt with 2 T's, that Matt?
M-A-T-T, yeah.
Interesting, okay.
Spelled correctly. Wow.
Jess, were you born in Springfield, Illinois?
Yep.
Which comes up on Google Maps as the parking lot of a CVS pharmacy, the on-track car wash, and is next to Aaron's rent-to-own furniture store.
Yes, big fan of Aaron's work.
Were you
yes.
born there?
Yep, that's where I was born.
And I'll have to confirm with my parents, but I think I was born in Belgium in Dave, the sub-municipality of the city of Namur. And there is a beautiful old chateau on the river there called Dave Castle.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
I think you guys
it's on the list.
You guys got better deals there.
What? You're in a car park. What?
I am a car park.
You were born in a car park.
You were born in a car park.
Beautiful.
It's a modern day biblical tale.
If I was named after
There
where I
was
was
no
born,
room in Aaron's, so you had to be sent out to the car park. Jessus.
Jesus.
Whoa. According to my passport, if I was named after where I was born, I'd be Mount Waverley.
Oh.
Could just be Waverley. That's pretty.
Waverley's not bad. Mm-hmm. Wavy.
Wavy.
Mine's
What about Mount, though? You could just be Mount.
Mounty.
That's Mount Perkins.
Mount
That's
Perkins.
Nice. That's nice.
Mount Perkins, fantastic.
I like it. Anyway, I digress early here, and what you need to know is that Florence Nightingale was born in Florence in 1820 to a very wealthy and connected English family.
Okay.
The family returned from what had become the family honeymoon, just a little bit weird because they were all there, and moved back to England in 1821, where they divided their time between 2 homes, both very nice and large, Lea Hurst in Derbyshire, located in central England, and Embley Park in what Britannica describes as the warmer Hampshire. I don't know how warm Hampshire actually is.
Like climate-wise warmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Because how big's Hampshire? Oh, no. Okay. It's like Hampshire, only warmer, and it's called something else. Is that right?
Well,
No.
now I'm reading it back, I'm thinking that maybe they're saying that it was a more waterproof house. I don't know.
Okay.
They had more fireplaces, so warmer there. Embley Park was a large estate and was the family's main digs. And Florence would sometimes venture to Derbyshire or to London during the social season. Hello, Lady Whistledown.
Yes. Now you're talking our language.
Yes.
Dave and I love Bridgerton.
Oh, we're Bridgerton.
Right.
What do you call us? Bridgerton girlies.
We're Bridgerton. That's right.
I love it.
So Dave was one of the girlies,
What?
which is high praise.
And it's based on a true story, sort of, but they've really taken it for a walk.
Bridgerton?
Yeah. Is that
Yeah,
right?
it's based on a
the
true
main
story.
character's real or something?
Nah.
No. Okay.
Well, I suppose you could say the world
Queen
is
Charlotte.
real. Queen Charlotte is actually
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
Is real.
She's not the main. She's not Bridgerton.
Well, they had a spin-off about her.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Queen
But,
Charlotte.
And actually, you could say the spin-off is a bit more historically accurate, I guess. Cause
I
it's
might have
based
been
on-
thinking it was about that. But anyway, so this is a social season is
Yeah.
like a part of the year where it's just for socialising?
Yeah. They all go to their London castles, mansions, and but this is based on Bridgerton.
Yeah.
and it's just balls and
And
Right.
dances, and the eligible young women meet with the eligible
Is
young
it
men.
fun? Because it sounds
Doesn't
like you're
sound
taking
fun.
something that is meant to be fun and making it
Yeah.
work.
It seems really tedious.
And there's a lot of ceremony and sort of ritual.
Right.
And if you want to just go for a walk, you have to go promenade.
And what does that
It's just
mean?
walking, but being seen walking.
Oh.
Yes, but any of you a young lady have to be chaperoned by an older relative, like your father or your brothers.
Well, it sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you get caught talking to someone where you shouldn't be, my goodness, you probably have to marry
You
them.
have to marry them.
Well, in the end, I think I'm happy to be a chimney sweep or whatever.
Yeah, it honestly sounds so boring. And to have a job is actually quite shameful to them.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
You
they don't work.
You can't have a job. That's no.
It sounds all very healthy.
It's so weird, but it's a bit of fun to watch. Bit of escapism.
Yeah. And there's a lot of fucking, right?
A lot of fucking.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I've heard this, like, the context I've heard about it is stand-up comedians walking on stage talking about it and their mums being titillated.
Yes. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
I think I've heard 2 comics talk about it like that. Is that kind of it? It's porn for mums.
Porn for mums. Yeah.
Because they won't look at normal porn.
No, God, no.
Tasteful. No, this one's on the television.
This one's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. This isn't porn. This is just people.
This is on a website that's streaming.
This is on a website that's streaming. It's not porn. It's just people fucking for my entertainment. It's not porn. No.
So she's very wealthy from that sort of society, I guess you could say. Florence and her sister Parthenope were both given a rigorous education at home by their father, and this is very uncommon, who taught the girls history, philosophy, and literature. Her father had advanced views on women's education, which was pretty unusual at the time, I have to say.
Yeah, you could learn an instrument because then, like, you basically the young ladies in Bridgerton, when they're trying to like impress a man, they're like, yes, I'm very good at the pianoforte, and I rather like walking outside.
Oh.
But then if any of them are like avid readers, it's sort of like, well, don't tell them you read and write.
Right, okay.
You know?
You need to be like dependent.
And yeah, absolutely.
So what's the difference between a piano and a pianoforte?
Great question, not sure.
One's stronger than the other. I guess.
Maybe an earlier version of the piano on the way to being invented.
Gotcha.
Harpsichord, pianoforte, piano, something like that.
Yeah.
Are there ladylike and unladylike instruments in this world?
The most ladylike is the rock and roll drum kit.
Oh, yeah.
With the double kick drum.
Yeah.
Double kicks going the whole time.
Yeah.
That's the most ladylike.
That's the most
What's
ladylike.
the least ladylike?
Hot for Teachers, the first song they learned.
Yes, that's
least
right.
ladylike is probably the clarinet.
Yes, very phallic.
Very phallic.
Unacceptable.
Are we rolling out phallic instruments? So we're putting a line through quite a few.
What else? What else could there be that's a bit phallic?
Flute.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, I hadn't thought of that one.
about that. Yes, no young lady will be...
Put it down.
Our young ladies will not be learning the flute.
Certainly shall not be fingering that flute. Anyway, Florence was educated.
Yes.
Particularly gifted, from her father.
Yep.
And she was particularly gifted in mathematics and language and learnt French, German, Italian, Greek, and Latin from a young age. Multilingual person. The BBC writes, her love of recording and organising information was clear from an early age. She documented her extensive shell collection with precisely drawn tables and lists. Mm-hmm. She loved to classify stuff. She loved data, keeping track of things, and this would come into play later in her life. Her diary reveals that on holidays, she would record detailed notes of population statistics, hospitals, and other charitable institutions. It's fair to say she was not very similar to other average girls of her age and social standing during this period of history.
She wasn't like other girls.
Exactly.
She's a pick-me. Yeah. I'm not like other girls. I actually spend my holidays making notes about hospitals. Anyway, I'm cool.
Yeah, and I eat burgers and drink beer.
Yeah, I really like baseball.
I love it.
I really like baseball.
Don't even have a TV.
I'm not like other girls.
I don't wear makeup. So,
can you believe that?
Like girls who wear makeup, they're stupid girls. But not me, I'm pretty cool.
I'm not like other girls. I honk on a saxophone.
What does that sound like?
The most ladylike instrument.
Nothing phallic about it.
Half the drum kit, sorry. That's right. We started with a much more phallic clarinet, and then we said, no, that won't do. So we bent it a little bit into a sort of S shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
show
more...
show me a penis that looks like that.
Yeah.
No, honestly, show me.
Show me.
I want to see
Can I
that.
say one?
That sounds fascinating.
That sounds
really,
awesome.
That feels like that could reach me in parts never explored.
So she's not like the others. Rather than take on her expected domestic duties, learn how to run a household and prepare for marriage, she would prefer to read the text of great philosophers and then debate her father.
Cool.
The family were also very religious. They were Unitarians, which a quick Google means, for me that is, they were Christians but believed in God being a singular creator and not in the Trinity.
Okay.
Ah.
But quite religious.
So what? So that means they didn't believe Jesus was God.
I think that they... Oh gosh, I didn't look into it too much.
No, okay. Well, let's
They're
move
not
on.
part of The
Father,
Holy
Son,
Trinity.
Holy Spirit.
Not that,
It's just the big guy.
he's the Son. I think they believe in Jesus as being the Son as the representative of
Yeah.
God on earth. I think
But-
that's...
Yeah. I mean, the Trinity is confusing. I think
Oh, yeah.
I think that's pretty smart.
Yeah,
Knocking it
making
down to
it a
one.
bit simple.
For the kids to get their heads around it. I went to Catholic school. I still don't think I could explain the Holy Trinity that well.
No, God, no.
And I think it's slightly confusing too because now Unitarian means a different thing to back then too.
Yeah,
which made
right,
it
okay.
a little bit hard for me as a non-Christian to understand, but you don't... This doesn't come up, to be honest, later on.
This is what I remember most being taught. It's like a 3-leaf clover. It's 3 different parts, but all part of the one clover, right? I'm like, yeah, I guess.
That's nice.
Yeah, I guess so.
And then you
And
say...
they're like, so that's it.
But then do you say, what about this 4-leaf clover?
Yeah, what do I do with this?
Shit.
Yeah, but also like, he's got 2 arms.
Yeah,
What does that mean? They're all part of the one God? I don't
I
understand.
don't know. It doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Does the God up top? What's he doing?
What's he up to?
He's wearing his image, so he's just like a guy. Don't worry about it. That's how it is. Actually, don't worry about it. Forgot I said
The
anything.
priest always said that. Just don't worry
Don't
about
worry
it.
about it. You're overthinking it, Matt.
Yeah.
You're thinking too much about it.
Matt, can you please leave my class?
Matt, leave the church, please. Go sit in the car park.
Go sit and jest.
Yeah.
It's not going to work for you. As a 16-year-old, this is important though, Florence experienced the first of what she called calls from God. She believed her calling was to reduce human suffering and to devote her life to the service of others.
Holy shit. Is she one of the few people who understands what it's meant to be about?
Yeah.
Reduce suffering and serve others.
That's what she's like, I've got to dedicate my life to that. That's my calling. And she had a few more of these that sort of
Wow.
instills that throughout her life. Nursing seemed like a way to achieve this aim. She cared for sick relatives and other tenants on her family estates when she was growing up. And she's like, I'm already caring for people this way. Maybe I could do that professionally and for the rest of my life.
But she's been in training to run a household and be married.
Exactly. Her family were opposed to her training and becoming a nurse. They expected a woman of her status to become a wife and a mother, marry a wealthy person from their social standing, continue the family line. According to the BBC, she proposed training in Salisbury, but her parents refused. They thought nursing was lowly, immodest work done by the poor or servants, completely unsuitable for a woman of her social standing.
Isn't that crazy?
And she went along with her expectations, but secretly she was dedicated to nursing and caring for others above all else. She was an eligible young lady with many suitors apparently sniffing around. A lot of people trying to take her for promenades and dances and things like that.
And her parents were really religious, so they hated this idea of her dedicating her life to helping others. They're religious, okay?
Yeah.
So we can't have you going around helping.
No, you have to marry wealthy so we accumulate more wealth.
Exactly.
And then have children.
You don't understand it. We're very religious.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
going to have to be strict on this one.
You caring for others, that could be a bad look for her. So she had a lot of suitors sniffing around, the most persistent of which was the politician and poet Richard Monckton Milnes.
That rules.
Richard Monckton Milnes.
Is he the one who wrote Winnie the Pooh? R.M. Wills or something? Milne? Is that?
A.A. Milne.
Yeah. Is that him?
So cool.
Yeah.
Change his name a bit.
Yeah. He changed the RM to AA, dropped the S off Milnes, and you've got...
That's actually pretty close. How about, can you picture currently having one of our politicians also being a poet and not just having the shit ripped out of him all the time? Oh, when he tells another poem. Like, he's not...
Yeah. Yep.
He's not getting
Like
elected.
in Parliament. Oh, yes, Mr. Speaker, I'd love to hear one of the Prime Minister's poems. They've got to stand up and... and then the opposition just yell out, shame, shame.
Boo.
So Richard Monckton Milnes, big fan of Florence. After a 9-year courtship, she rejected him.
Oh, no. He's like finally built up. He's like, now the last thing. Will you marry me? No.
9 years.
Whoa.
And courtships back then aren't like courtships now. You know, it's not like you're living together.
No.
You know, it's like you danced at a couple of balls together.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you don't know each other at all.
No.
Had his eye on her for a long time. Probably spoke to her parents more than he spoke to her.
Yeah.
Had the paperwork drawn up.
And she's like, no.
No, thank you.
I reckon the courtship is him being like, hello, Florence. And she's like, yeah, hi. And she keeps walking and he's like, that's another excellent interaction.
And he's like, it happened again. Good step in the right direction.
I love it so much.
I lasted 3 seconds this time. Just thinking about it again. 4 seconds.
Oh, my God. That guy has a problem.
Well done, Moncton.
You've done it again.
Up here.
You've done it again, you absolute duck.
I've got nothing left.
Yeah, I think the wires were crossed there, and he thought they were courting, and she thought he was like an acquaintance.
Sorry,
Small talk.
Philip, was it?
Yeah. And he's like, will you marry me? She's like, no.
It's like, oh no, I've been caught in the friend zone.
The 9-year friend zone. So she rejected him, convinced that marriage would interfere with her ability to follow her true calling to help others.
Preach.
And to be honest, she was probably right. She wouldn't have been able to do a lot of things she did, I imagine, if she had followed through with that marriage. And whilst not being allowed to take up nursing in any formal sense, Florence was a great traveller and traversed to exotic destinations like Egypt, Italy, Greece.
Awesome.
So she did a lot of travelling.
So
Sounds
jealous.
really awesome.
And back
So
then,
jealous.
that took a year to get there.
Took a long time.
You know?
I want to be back in those days as a nurse traveling. Don't you think that would be sick?
You can travel now, and
What?
it won't take that long. You get on a plane.
But what do you get at 4 years to become a nurse?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. That's a long time to plan a trip.
I don't think you have 4 years left.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I wish I
you
could
don't have
just.
time to start a new degree.
If I could only just go now. But I'm not a nurse. I'm not even begun my study.
Sorry. But she travelled a lot. In 1847, whilst travelling in Rome, she met Sidney Herbert, who was a baron and had been...
Oh, no kids. I'm going to shut up for a bit. He was a baron. Such a funny way to, Anyway, fucking hell.
As he sips more coffee.
That'll fuel me later.
That'll be good.
He
I'll
was
shut
a-
up for a bit. Glug, glug, glug.
He was a baron and had previously been Britain's Secretary at War.
Britain's sexiest man. I don't know why, that's what I thought.
He was runner-up 6 times in a row.
Secretary of War, okay.
That damn Percy Jones always beat me.
So he's there taking notes, getting coffees.
Yeah, that's right, for the war.
Yeah.
Keeping going.
Typing out, they're dictating and he's typing out their memos.
And then the war says, read it back to me.
Yeah.
Sydney.
The
read it back
war
to-
says.
Bang, 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 boom. Bang, bang, boom, boom. Perfect, Sydney.
That's a memo from war. Now you're getting silly.
I know, no, I'm...
Cut it out.
That's dropped back, so I'm like, better fill this hole.
You're the one who's supposed to keep this
I
going.
know, that's right. So
Don't put that on me.
I know, sorry. So he was never...
Bang, bang, boom, boom.
So it's
You sound like a rock and roll drum kit.
Most ladylike instrument. So it's 1847. She's travelling around. She met Sidney Herbert, who was a baron. So but I just said that to be. He's also one of these upper class people, and nearly all these politicians are. He'd been Britain's Secretary at War, very connected. He was in Rome on his honeymoon with his wife Liz, and the couple made close friends with Florence, and it would prove to be an influential relationship.
Okay. Thruple.
Maybe. Whilst visiting the Acropolis in Greece, Florence rescued a baby owl that was being tormented by a group of boys.
Ugh.
She rescued the owl and named it Athena and kept it as a pet. Athena would...
Did she find it in Athens? Like the family,
Yeah, the family are
have
very...
no imagination. That's
true.
incredible.
It's true.
Athena.
I didn't.
Every time they're
She's just looking
panicking.
around.
What is it? I'll name the baby Hospital. Royal Women's Hospital. That'll do.
Beautiful name.
And Athena would sit on her shoulder or be kept in her pocket.
Oh, little owl.
Tiny little
or
owl.
big pocket.
Big posh.
That's cute. Little owl in your pocket.
It is cute. Athena was a constant companion, and when the owl died, Florence wrote, "Poor little beastie, it was odd how much I loved you."
I don't think it's odd you had a pet.
Exactly.
We love our pets.
She hasn't been brought up in a sort of a normal way.
It was odd that
With
I
feelings.
formed some sort of affection for this little creature that I lived with me and I fed. It was my companion. How odd that I have formed feelings for this little creature. This child walking around behind me whom I birthed, I'm oddly fond of.
It's so strange.
What are you talking about?
That was good. I'm not an Englishman, but I think that accent was spot on.
Thank you so much. I've
Beautiful.
really been working on it.
Great work.
Thank you.
Really brought this character to life, and I've been, researching her for the last 10 days.
Maybe Emma Thompson or something like that.
Okay.
Emma Thompson
In a period piece?
has played Florence Nightingale in a sketch.
There you go.
In a sketch. The highest form of art.
A lot of famous actors have portrayed her because she's been in a lot of movies and TV shows. Anyway, whilst on her travels, she also visited hospitals in Paris, Rome, and London. And in 1850, at the age of 30, her parents realised that the now ancient spinster was unlikely to ever marry and relented, allowing her to train as a nurse in Germany.
Wow.
Oh, so they...
We're still controlling her even though she was 30.
Or was it like, we cut you off if you do?
Yeah, it's
Surely
like,
she's allowed to.
I think you could legally do it, but it's like, it'll be scandalous. You'll be terrible for our family. Please don't do this. We will, cut you out from the family. You won't have any of these social connections anymore.
It's starting to feel this story is going on the way that she's going to swan in as this rich nurse when there's been nurses doing hard work for decades. She's going to come in and we're talking about her and there's all these forgotten... She's coming going for the photo ops. Yep, I'm helping them. Yep. Help. Got that? We got it? All right, wrap it up, everybody.
I brought my own press team with me. I've got a stylist. There's some of that here. Initially, the training was just 2 weeks, but she went back in 1851 for 3 months of training where she picked up basic nursing skills, the importance of patient observation, and this is a big one, the extreme value of hospital organisation.
Sorry, the initial training was 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until the second training that she learnt the basics. So what did she learn?
And that was 3 months. And also, they were doing a fair bit of admin.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty quick stuff.
That's insane. Well, yeah, nurses are spending years at university now. Obviously, medicine's very different.
Yes.
But hospital organisation isn't. We still do it the same way.
And there might be a reason for that.
Because they nailed it first up.
Okay, I was joking, but we really do it the same way. Okay.
Her sister, Parthenope.
Jesus Christ. Every time you say that name, it makes me sigh.
It's not a name, is it?
Can you call
awful.
her Parthy?
Parthy.
That's what she would have wanted.
Her sister, Parthy, was not as keen on her sister's training.
Who cares? Who the fuck cares?
You're going to love this sentence. The BBC writes, Parthy struggled to accept her sister's hard-won independence and suffered a nervous breakdown in 1852.
Fuck you, Parthy. Honestly.
This forced Florence to return and care for her.
Oh my God. Are we assuming she's faking it? Aye.
I just don't like the job my sibling has. Shut up.
And it caused a nervous breakdown.
That's what the BBC have written, yeah.
Because you just can't get your head around it.
I haven't done the 3-month training yet, so I don't know what's involved with a breakdown like that. But can it be brought on by feeling a bit funny about what your sister's up to?
Well, part of the nurse's training is you do have to murder the firstborn child in your family.
Uh-huh.
So Parthy felt threatened by
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
So you have a bit of a nervous breakdown.
Her time was...
You're worried that you're going to be killed. No, she just had a bit of a breakdown. Just a side note on Parthy, she married a baronet in 1858 at the age of 39.
Wait, what? Parthy didn't get married till 39.
No.
Well, that's why it's called a baronet, 39.
Their parents are so disappointed.
Yeah, that's right. They've given them all these connections that they expect them to hold.
And I reckon their mum's like, see, I told you shouldn't have read them books.
Honestly, she would have probably
You put all those ideas in those girls' heads.
You've rotted their brain.
Now we've got two disgusting spinsters.
Yeah, it would be like just the chance to bring up any old things. I knew it. I knew when you dropped that thing on their head or whatever when they were kids or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like,
bring it up.
What? Are you bringing it up now? Great. That was 39 years ago.
Okay, so but also she's okay, fucking Parthy. So Parthy is also when Florence is just going off to study, Parthy's also not married.
Also unmarried.
She's also letting down the family or whatever. And then so she's like, oh, I've had a breakdown. I need a nurse.
Yeah, you better come home.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Parthy.
I'm off Parthy.
You're not on Parthy? Well,
And you were, until this point, you've been right on
I
her.
was a big Parthy
Yeah,
fan.
you were up to your
Name and
bloody
everything.
shoulder in her.
Now I'm taking my arm out. Let me tell you,
all the way out.
All the way out.
all the way out. You're on your own, Parthy. Figure it out yourself.
I like that because as soon as I said, I'm like, that's awful. And then you kept it up. I like that you made it good.
There's nothing I hate more. No, that's not true. But one thing I really, really hate is videos of vets checking on cows and like hand all the way up them. I hate it.
Those long gloves.
No, I won't do it.
I love those videos.
Oh.
Oh,
Is that weird?
Am I the weird one?
Who's weird here? Who's weirder here? So, Parthenope, she got married later on after this breakdown. Anyway, the two sisters were close later in life, and Parthenope became a great supporter of her sister.
shut up, Parthenope.
But at this stage, it just... What do you mean you're having a breakdown of it? Very strange. Anyway,
Oh, yeah, I don't understand how... Because breakdowns, I'm guessing they just happen somehow, right?
Oh, it would just be anxiety and the stress of it. Yeah,
And you like it goes past the point of no return and you're fried for a bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's because her sister is
Yeah, it does seem like a
learning something.
strange
like,
trigger.
come on.
But she grew up in the same weird society, you know. Hey, we're all products of our
Yeah. It's a different time.
environment. You know
Different
what I mean?
time. Makes you think.
Anyway,
No one has any responsibility for how they turn out. Okay?
Yep. It's not my fault. That's what I'm saying.
And if you blame our parents, they blame their parents.
That's right.
And it's a beautiful system
Beautiful
that goes back
cycle.
Beautiful
forever.
system.
Beautiful cycle.
Goes all the way back to Adam, that psycho.
What a prick.
God, he really ruined all of us.
Honestly, I think it was Eve. Because that's who he blamed. Oh, she offered me the apple.
Anyway, in 1853, at the age of 33, Florence Nightingale finally achieved her lifelong mission of becoming a proper working nurse when she became superintendent at a women's hospital in Harley Street in London.
Okay, so she skipped a superintendent.
So she used her social connections to get the job and immediately flexed her muscles as an effective administrator by improving nursing care, working conditions, and the efficiency of the hospital.
Certainly taken credit for it.
But you're absolutely right that she has gone straight into a managerial position.
No, it's
She's
great.
like, I don't really do the hands-on, like the wiping of the bum and
Yes.
I don't do sponge baths.
No.
I'll do the paperwork and you go and do that.
I'm
thank you.
wealthy, you see.
Yeah. You don't understand. I'm actually wealthy.
And she didn't actually have to worry about a wage itself because her father had given her an annual income of £500, which is roughly £40,000, 65,000 US, or almost 100,000 Australian in today's money. So that was her annual salary from her dad, which allowed her obviously to live comfortably and pursue her career.
Yeah, wow.
Jess is looking in shock.
Well, I think it's because she's about to go to America and that doesn't add up on the exchange. Is that right?
No, I'm just so.
You're going, hang on.
Hang on a
Is
second.
it $1 for 65 US cents? Is that what you're thinking?
No.
Well, that's-
You're worried. I'm going $500. 500 means $100,000. Oh my God, no. No, I'm thinking, I was really rooting. I was excited to learn about Florence Nightingale. And now I'm like, you fucking Richie Rich. So she doesn't, is she getting a wage from the
But
hospital
this
as
is-
well?
I imagine she gets paid for her work too, yeah, but like...
And on top of that, Daddy's giving her $100K a year.
yeah, which would be much more, I imagine, than her actual...
I think it might be.
But still, like, she didn't have to do this. But, I think also, like, history just records the rich people's stories.
Absolutely it
So-
does. And then we tell them.
Also, coming up, her impressive bit is yet to come.
I'm not unimpressed. I'm just a little bit annoyed that maybe I have class issues. Maybe that's what this is.
You've got classy shoes?
I've got classy shoes. I'm wearing gumboots today. Look, I've got classy shoes. I don't know what else to tell you.
I think Seren used to have a stand-up 10 years ago where the punchline was a pun on trust issues. Trusty shoes.
That's why he's one of the best.
That's good stuff.
Sorry, Dave. Please do go on.
But
I've moved past my shock.
Yes, I think it'll all turn around once we hear about her come out with penicillin, right?
Yeah,
that's
that
going to be
will
the
really,
game changer.
that will turn the corner
Can't
for
wait
me.
for that.
That's in this story?
Yeah.
And you're right. She could just be doing promenades and marrying someone
Yeah.
wealthy and doing nothing. At least she's out there trying to make admin fun. And that's
Yes.
cool.
Yes.
Honestly, I think she's probably living a better life as well.
Oh, 100%. God, it sounds so boring. They just sit around and read a book, eat food.
Oh, actually, it doesn't sound too bad.
In a castle.
When you say it out loud,
Okay, hang on
get
a
to the
second.
boring bit.
Somebody who dresses them and bathes them.
That's weird.
It's
but-
unnecessary, isn't
yeah.
it? But okay.
I'll give them. I'll go. Can you just pretend you're doing that?
Yeah, I'll pay you. I'll wash my feet.
Yeah.
You could do fencing or something. At least you could do some more fun activities.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really be allowed to do much. And that sucks.
Right. Yeah. But we'd have to like court people for 9 years and then be rejected. That
Yeah.
can't be good for your site.
All right, on to the next one. Another 9 years. Here we go.
Process starts again. That's okay. You got this.
9 years is insanely long. Like I don't think courtships lasted very long back then.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway.
You'd want to have a few irons in the fire, wouldn't you?
Oh,
A
yeah.
few courtships happening.
Yeah. Well, the sad thing is that was Millsy's 14th iron. It's like, this is my final iron.
Please.
The fire is
She
bare.
rejected him because he was 94 years old. I need a wife.
I need a wife
Anyone.
so bad.
You. So in 1853, an event that would dictate Nightingale's legacy began, and that is the Crimean War, which very briefly and over simply, a background to that is on one side was Russia and on the other side was the Turkish Ottoman Empire, and it all began with a dispute between the Russian Tsar Nicholas I and the Ottoman Emperor Abdul-Majid I, over which empire would have authority over Orthodox Christians living in Ottoman territory. The Russian Tsar was like, well, they're Orthodox Christians. I should be looking after them because they're the same religion as me. And then the Ottoman Emperor was like, well, no, they're living in Ottoman territory. They're my subjects. So Nicholas issued an ultimatum that demanded the Orthodox subjects be placed under his protection. Britain attempted to mediate and arranged a compromise, to which Nicholas agreed, but when the Ottomans demanded changes to the agreement, Nicholas recanted and prepared for war. And the British and the French, allies of the Ottomans, did not like the ideas of Russia expanding its territory or influence, so they teamed up with the Ottomans as the Allies, and war began.
Okay.
That's kind of the background here. And
It's one thing we've always been good at. War. Humans.
I think you meant do go on. I was like, yeah, we've covered a few here.
No, God, no, we're not good at anything. But war.
What
Humans.
Is Crimea a place, or does that mean?
Yeah, so, gosh, I've got a bit here on that.
Because it's like one of the wars you hear about, but
Yeah, I couldn't tell you anything
I'm
about
pretty
it.
sure. I think Burke from our early episode about Burke and Wills, he went off. I think he went to try to go to the Crimean War, but it was over by the time we got there.
It takes ages to get there.
It takes ages. So Crimea is a peninsula in Eastern Europe that in modern times is internationally, by most people, recognised as Ukrainian territory. And well, you may have heard about it over the last 10 years, it's been under Russian occupation since 2014.
Right.
And Ukraine still claim that
Yes, that's
Russia
right. That's right.
in their territory.
I do recall that. That's bad. I couldn't quite remember.
So that's where the majority of the war takes place. Mm-hmm. And the war was one of the first conflicts, and this is one of the big reasons we've heard of it, and still it is, for want of a better word, a cultural touchstone, like a famous war, is because it was one of the first conflicts in which military forces used modern technologies such as explosive naval shells, railways and telegraphs, and it was one of the first to be covered extensively in written reports and in photographs. People not at the front line were actually aware in fairly real time what was happening during the war. Before this, that had not been sort of the case. They'd go away, fight a war, and you might hear bits and pieces over the months, but not in real time. William Howard Russell, an Irish journalist for The Times, was in Crimea and the surrounds and sent dispatches to the UK in what are regarded as the world's first war correspondence.
Cool.
He was later knighted for his services. So Russell was described by one of the soldiers on the front lines thus: a vulgar, low Irishman who sings a good song, drinks anyone's brandy and water, and smokes as many cigars as a jolly good fellow. He is just the sort of chap to get information, particularly out of youngsters.
He'll charm you.
Charm, yeah. Sound like he was getting in there, partying with the boys.
Yeah, getting the info.
Getting the actual info out of them, which is, yeah, I really like that. I think that's, a wily
Yeah.
early journalist. His wiki page writes, His dispatches were hugely significant. For the first time, the public could read about the reality of warfare. So back at home, people are like, shit.
That sounds cool.
That sounds cool.
All it is just him going, so into the bar again. Oh, man. Jono had too much. And he
What's
was
new?
crook, but he was being so funny before he started spewing his guts up, though. Yeah, war's fucking sick, actually.
Was awesome. You should all give it a go.
Yeah, you should all join up. This is sick.
It's actually so fun.
People are, oh my God, I want to meet Jono.
Jono sounds awesome.
like a character.
I love him.
People are writing fan letters into Jono.
I love you, Jono.
So most of the fighting, like I said, is taking place in Crimea. However, according to Britannica, during the war, the British troop base and hospitals for the care of the sick and wounded soldiers was primarily established in Scutari, across the Bosporus from Constantinople, which is now Istanbul.
Istanbul, the Constantinople, now it's Istanbul, the Constantinople, now it's Istanbul, Constantinople. Why did Constantinople get the works? That's nobody's business but the Turks.
Perfect.
Did you have in your notes that Matt would sing?
Yeah. Bet $50 and I've just won.
Against?
One of Russell's reports about the hospital stated that the soldiers were treated by an incompetent and ineffective medical establishment and that the most basic supplies were not available for care. So he's writing about that, and people at home are reading about it in the newspaper. The English public at home read about this ill treatment of their soldiers, and it led to an outcry demanding that something should be done. Mm-hmm. Our boys are out there suffering. No one's even looking after them in the hospital. It's not good enough. Sidney Herbert, the man who had been Florence Nightingale's friend on his honeymoon in Rome, had again become Secretary of War, and he thought of his friend and wrote a letter to her requesting that she lead a group of nurses to the war to fix up the medical system. And at the same time, Florence also read this report, wrote a letter to her friend and Sydney's wife, Liz Herbert, requesting that she be allowed to go over to the war to fix up the medical system.
Funny you say this.
And the letters apparently crossed in the mail and arrived at similar times, and each of their requests was, of course, granted because they're like, that's what I was saying.
Yeah. Did you read my letter?
Yeah.
Because that's what I said.
Don't claim credit for my idea, Sydney. This is me. So Nightingale was allowed to take 38 nurses to the military hospital in Scutari.
Take 2 more.
You reckon 40 is a good
Or
amount?
1 more.
One more,
Yeah,
so it's
'cause
40
she-
total.
Exactly, agreed, yes. Because she is technically a nurse.
Yeah.
Even though
She did
she's
the
a nurse
basics.
leader. She's done 3 months of training.
Yeah.
She knows what she's doing.
I think most of the nurses at this stage are done. No one's done their 4-year
no one's got the degree.
degree at this
Interesting.
stage. No,
Okay. No specialists, no midwives.
not yet.
Okay. Paramedics, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah, of course. There's ambulances, there's cars.
Some people do the double, like the paramedicine and like nursing. So they'd be good in an emergency, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's good.
Anyway, whatever.
That's someone you want on speed dial. So they were allowed to go to the military hospital in Scutari in Turkey, the first time women had been allowed to officially serve in the army.
Cool.
There you go. They arrived on November 5th, 1854, and what Florence Nightingale and her team discovered when she got to the hospital barracks was beyond anything they could have imagined. The BBC writes, the floor was an inch thick with feces.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody thought to pick up the shit?
Yeah,
No, there's-
she would have walked in and gone, okay, this is worse than I thought. We're going to have to do real basics. Okay, toilet training.
Poo? Not on the floor.
Not on the floor.
Repeat after me. Not on the
Not
floor.
on the
on the
floor.
floor.
Poop in the bucket. Throw the bucket away.
Throw the bucket on the floor. Start again.
Okay.
You got an empty bucket.
Oh my God, that's disgusting.
An inch
At that
thick of
point, I'd be
poo.
like, I'll make the trek home, actually.
I
Thank
think
you.
I just burn it down.
Yeah, I'd start fresh.
Yeah, people inside are what? Who cares? Just start again.
You're all grots.
Yeah, you're all.
You're shitting all over the floor.
You did this. Now you suffer the consequences.
That's horrific. Okay. Not a great start.
She was not welcomed by medical officers and had to contend with inadequate supplies, uncooperative staff, and severe overcrowding. She described it as the kingdom of hell, but this didn't stop Florence from shaking things up. And we'll have more of this story after these messages.
Okay, you can do this.
I know. Carvana makes it so convenient to sell your car. It's just hard to let go. My car and I have been through so much together.
But look, you already have a great offer from Carvana. That was fast.
Well, I know my license plate and VIN by heart, and those questions were easy.
You're almost there. Now to just accept the offer and schedule a pickup or drop-off.
How'd you do it? How are you so strong in letting go of your car?
Well, I already made up my mind, and Carvana's so easy.
Yeah, true. And sold.
Go to Carvana.com to sell your car the convenient way.
Millions of people have lost weight with personalized plans from Noom. Like Evan, who can't stand salads and still lost 50 pounds.
Salads generally for most people are the easy button, right? For me, that wasn't an option. I never really was a salad guy. That's just not who I am. But Noom worked for me.
Get your personalized plan today at Noom.com. Real Noom user compensated to provide their story. In 4 weeks, the typical Noom user can expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. Individual results may vary.
So back to this shit-filled hospital.
Hooray.
Oh, yeah.
Just what you want.
I'm glad we had that ad break to listen to some great products that are available, because that really took my mind away from the shit.
Here's
Although
the
I
thing.
should say, if you sign up on Patreon, you can skip that and just get straight back into the
Straight back
shit.
into the
That's
shit.
right. No breaks. We just talk shit wall to wall.
One time I was in hospital and sharing a room with 3 other people, and an older woman was snoring so loudly I couldn't get to sleep. And then she called the nurse over to ask for something to help her sleep because she couldn't sleep. And I was like, honey, you've been sleeping. And even that,
What a slap in the face.
that was fine. That was a really pleasant experience because there wasn't an inch of shit all over the floor.
Did you think about asking, did you go, oh, and while you're there, can you make it a minor double sort of thing?
I did ask the nurse, actually, I didn't even think of that, to ask for something to help me sleep. I asked the nurse to smother that woman with a pillow.
Yeah, which he gladly did.
The nurse was like, absolutely, of course.
Can you please help her sleep forever?
I was like, I'll do that right now, thank you. Because nurses are lovely.
All of them.
All of them. Every nurse. Beautiful.
So Nightingale, she got to work. She bought equipment with funds provided by the London Times, cleaned the wards, and got soldiers' wives to assist with laundry.
She's also rich. Chuck your own money in there.
It's so funny to be sponsored by a newspaper.
Yeah.
And you said before these was the first time women were allowed to serve in the army. Which is this just in England or
That would be in the British Army. I'm not sure if we compare it to others, but yeah.
Yeah, because I guess that would be the kind of question you wouldn't be able to answer. Like,
Without looking into it, you mean?
well, at all, probably. Like, would they know? The first
I'm not
army to
sure.
have a women allowed to serve? It probably was before, like prehistoric times.
Oh, yes, of course. Depends what your definition of
Yeah.
army. I guess.
Like Joan of Arc, she sort of was in an
Yeah.
army.
Yeah.
She waved a flag.
Yep.
That's before this, wasn't it?
Yeah, she was closer to the fighting than Florence Nightingale was here.
So she's cleaning the place up.
Cleaned it up. She also implemented hand washing in the hospital,
Holy shit.
which beforehand was not common. She thought cleanliness was next to godliness.
She came up with that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't Godfrey's vacuum cleaners with their catchphrase, cleanliness is next to godfreyness. Which one was first?
Oh, that's good.
That's actually really good.
Honestly, if you're sitting around the office and you think that up, that's call it and go home early today.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's
a half day right
But are you
there.
saying that Godfrey's came up with it or Nightingale?
I think Godfrey's.
Godfrey's came up
and
with it.
Nightingale's playing off the Godfrey's.
Yeah,
That's right. She paraphrased. It's a good people. She also was like, check out this vacuum cleaner, and then used it to pick up a bowling ball. Yeah, it's really
Very
impressive.
cool stuff.
Really impressive.
Always impressive.
Britannica writes, most importantly, Nightingale established standards of care requiring such basic necessities as bathing, clean clothing and dressings, and adequate food. Which before that, you'll be surprised to hear, well, not surprised because you know about the inch of shit on the floor. They didn't have any of that.
They
Amazing.
didn't have fresh PJs or some breakfast,
None of that.
and they didn't have a bath.
No.
I can see why some of these people weren't feeling so crash hot.
I'm wondering if she's gone into the wrong place and this was like a dairy farm or something and it's just cows.
There's slop all over the floor.
What's going on in here?
It's just little pigs in
They're
bed.
just shitting on the floor.
Naughty!
Get up, piggy. Cleaning up there.
She's like, yeah, no one's cooperating. They're all yelling at me.
Oh my
They're
God.
mooing, mate.
Yeah, they're all yellow. They won't shut up. They
They
sleep standing up. There's something wrong with them.
They're ignoring me. They're pretending they don't speak English. You're in the British Army. I know you speak English. And she was very hands-on, working very long days and wandering the wards at night checking on patients, earning her the nickname the Lady with the Lamp.
Nice.
Yes. I've heard that somewhere before. It's at the start of this episode.
Exactly. And you knew Florence Nightingale. Or maybe it was because Jess started saying Florence Nightingale.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But you knew that nickname maybe?
Maybe. I feel like I did. But do you think that is she just walking through the hospital at night to be seen?
Yeah,
like this is just in a...
She's just waking people up.
It's performative.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey,
What
I'm
was-
here. I'm here.
Hey, just letting you know I'm here.
What was the walking to be seen called again? You were saying that was one of the things.
promenading.
Promenading.
She's
Do you think she's just
promenading.
promenading?
She's just promenading.
With a little candle saying, hey, wake up.
Boop, boop.
Yoo-hoo.
Remember you saw me.
Yoo-hoo.
Okay. I was through here. Long days.
Long days. Oh my God, I've been here all day.
Oh, jeez. Tell you what.
She's doing
I've been very hands-on. Tell you that for sure.
Doing half an hour in the morning and half an hour at night, and then being like, I've been here the whole time. I was in the office in between.
I was in a different ward, but yeah, very busy.
I'm so hands-on, telling you. Handsy, more like it. Stop touching me. I'm accusing her of fiddling with the patients.
Thank you for that explanation. Explain yourself.
Okay.
Prove she didn't.
Can't defame the dead.
Thank goodness for that. But she stuck it out and gained the respect of both medical staff and soldiers, who at first were a bit like, who's this woman telling us what to do? And then very quickly people respected her work ethic.
That's maybe because they weren't having to slop around in an inch of shit.
Oh, you think that we could do something apart from walking around in our own shit? I'd like to hear your ideas. Not. Because they won't be any good.
So, yeah, like, quickly they're like, holy shit. You were onto something
Oh
here.
my God, Jerry, you're clean.
It smells so much better in here.
Doing
Yeah.
the basics?
I actually feel a bit better because I had a bath and I've eaten some food today.
It's so funny that it had to be said, but, like... Imagine she never got sent there,
Yeah.
and we're, it's like this bizarro future where we're all just up to our ankles in shit in the hospital.
No one ever.
Or even
So
inside
gross.
here. The podcast studio.
slopping
full of
around.
slop.
All I can think about is clean pajamas. I don't know why. I think because when I was a kid, if I was sick, Mum would put me in the bath, and then by the time I got out of the bath, there'd be fresh pajamas and fresh sheets on the bed.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, I feel 100% better
That's
right
so
now.
good.
So good.
That's good mum work.
Great mum.
And where was John?
I
Was
don't
he
know.
helping out with that?
Nah, he's probably, I don't know, at work or something.
Oh.
Probably bloody providing for the family or something.
Paying for the pajamas.
Yeah, whatever, mate.
Oh, mate.
Nah, good on him.
Wait, you normally do a good on him after you've shat on him. You're like, probably working hard and providing for the family.
Yeah.
Nah, good on him. He's all right.
Yeah, because he wasn't there to put me in my fresh pidgeys.
Tell you what, it sounds like you've got the perfect combo of mother and father there.
Yeah, great team.
And like you say, normally off pod, every family should have a father and a mother. Is that?
As I always
You
say.
Normally off pod,
Off pod, typically, yes.
but that is something that you do often say. And you say it has to be one of each.
None of this doubling up.
No, otherwise they'll turn out wrong. I think that's what you say, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't say they'll turn out wrong, Matt.
Right.
I say they'll turn out rotten.
Okay, yeah.
Is this what you wanted? Did you want me to just go along with it?
Yeah, I wasn't sure which way you'd go,
And
but
I feel
it's pretty
a
fun.
bit yuck, and I think there'll be people. There are always people who are big fans of this comedy podcast and don't understand that it's jokes.
Yeah, that's true.
So
All right.
there'll be that, which will be fun.
What would you say now in a way that makes it very clear that you don't believe that?
JK.
Okay.
That sorts that out.
JK Rowling, that's where you get your beliefs from. That's actually pretty good.
Should I tell myself to do go on here?
Please, Dave, do go on.
Love of God, dude.
Please, Dave, tell yourself to do go on.
Do go on. Despite this big cleanup at the hospital and improvements in how it was run, people kept dying.
What?
Oh.
During the war, cholera killed more people than the actual fighting, like way more, like 9-1 or something.
Whoa.
In one winter, over 4,000 people died at the hospital.
Shit. What's cholera? As in...
I think you shit yourself a lot.
Is that something
okay.
that horses get? Oh, no, colic. Is that a horse
That's
thing?
babies.
Babies? Baby horses?
What's wrong with us today? Dave's telling us about this very inspirational, influential woman.
know.
And we're like,
No, you're really
we're
shitting
like,
on
there's
her.
poo everywhere. No, sorry, that was me. I just felt upset that she she was rich, but that's not her fault.
But also, Dave,
and she's done a lot of good.
As feminists, it would be weird for us to not shit on her because she's a woman.
Yeah.
We shit on everyone.
It's true.
Just like they did back in those days.
Because we have cholera.
Cholera, a bacterial disease causing severe dehydration and diarrhea, usually spread in water.
Right.
And it's usually contaminated food or water.
Oh, awful.
Nasty,
what a way to
nasty
die,
stuff.
honestly.
Yes.
Shit
And
yourself to death.
Isn't it weird that this place that was basically carpeted with shit would have these sort of hygiene issues?
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense.
But they cleaned it up and they were like, people are still dying. What's going on
Genuinely,
here?
what you said before about burning the place down was probably
a
the
good
best
idea,
Only way to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Well, according to the BBC, in the spring of 1855, which is this time, the British government sent out a sanitary commission to investigate the conditions at Scutari, the hospital. It discovered the Barrack Hospital was built on a sewer, meaning patients were drinking contaminated water.
Oh my God. That's... Whoa.
The hospital, along with other British Army hospitals, was flushed out and ventilation was improved. Consequently, the death rate began to fall.
Okay.
There are reports that between this and Nightingale's involvement to clean it up meant the mortality rate in the hospital fell from 42% to just 2%.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's an
That's
improvement.
big.
Hang on. Please. Give me a moment, please. Like 35%.
Yeah. What is it actually, Dave?
For a
It's like
rounding error.
400% or something? 4,000%.
Yeah. Which one is it?
I don't know. It's a lot, though, isn't it?
It's a lot.
It's a lot. That's huge.
And although this has been debated as a possible exaggeration, we do know she definitely did help clean it up.
Yeah.
Because even the fact 2% death rate at a war hospital sounds like would have to be up there with the best ever, right?
Yeah, you would think so.
Yeah, I think some people have come out and said, oh, the government were lying about statistics to make it sound better than it was. And there's been a few investigations. I've seen so many different numbers.
7, I've seen. I saw 20. I remember once I saw a mailbox that had like a 14 on it. I've seen heaps of them.
I've seen heaps of numbers.
I've seen so many numbers. It's crazy. You name one, I've seen it.
I've seen so many numbers, I can't even count them.
Yeah.
It's uncountable.
I can't look. Whew.
Oh, my God.
I remember one year I saw 380. And that was I was like, whoa, they won't get bigger than that. But then I saw 410.
I did the maths and it was bigger.
It was.
It was bigger. Blew my mind.
I could not believe it. Seen a heap of them. Yeah, I've seen heaps. My life's pretty cool.
I got stuff going on.
I have seen lots of stats and figures, and a few people are like, she's not as good as history says, but she did improve it. That's all I can tell you.
I think it is important for people to go back and go, you know, this inspirational person, which is not that inspirational. Don't be too inspired.
Yeah.
Hey, whoa, are you thinking about helping people with your life because of her?
Yeah.
Well, wait a second.
It's not 2%, you psycho. It was 2.5. Okay? You're worshipping a lie. So she did improve it, but her medical knowledge wasn't always right. At this time, Florence Nightingale was an advocate of the miasma theory, which was that diseases were caused by bad air. That's the air or miasma was foul-smelling and filled with particles of decomposed matter that could cause illnesses. Even though the miasma theory was disproved, it made the connection between dirtiness and diseases, encouraging cleanliness and bringing about public health reforms. And she later, because she lived quite a long time, got on board with the more modern germ theory.
Yeah, okay.
Because the germ theory obviously is real. But there's got to be something to, like, bad smells do carry badness in them, right?
Yeah, but you can't just get it just from, I think it's not from a bad smell. There has to be a germ in it.
Right.
It's not just like,
but you know,
it's
like
a bit
the
smelly.
smell of the
oh my gosh, we'll get sick. Yeah.
The ground is shit.
Yeah.
That would smell.
That's right. If you touch the germ, you will.
But
if
you just stay in your bed and you never touch the shit, but you just live with shit air nonstop, you can't get sick from that, is what you're saying?
Not 100% sure because
I'm going to have to make a call.
Because if you get, if you're getting sterile water and everything delivered to you, maybe.
Yeah.
But
interesting.
Having the poo on the floor, it's going to get into the water.
Maybe I still believed in miazapam.
Miazapam.
But obviously the airborne illnesses is obviously a thing.
Yeah. But not all air.
It's not all air.
Not all air.
Not all air.
Not all air, which is something that Jess always says. Not all this, not all that. She does a lot of those ones. Don't have to go into the details.
So it was February of that same year, 1855, that the name Florence Nightingale took off. A cartoon portrait of the lady with the lamp tending to the sick whilst carrying her lamp, featured in the Illustrated London News back home. She was hailed by the press and the public as a hero, and the BBC describes it, and then multiple other articles and drawings were made of her. Her family had to wade through a steady stream of poems posted to Florence.
Oh, I'd prefer shit. Wading through poems. Oh, God. Give me the shit to wade through.
Which were the Victorian equivalent of fan mail, and images of the Lady of the Lamp were printed on bags, mats, and souvenirs.
You can just imagine how bad some of those odes and poems would have been, right?
Oh, Lady of the Night. Oh, not like that. Oh, damn. I hope I have not offended. But obviously, if you'd be up for that, that's absolutely your choice as a person.
I support that.
Yeah, of course, but
I'm quite open of the mind.
But I didn't mean to imply that you are if that's not what you want. Oh, my God.
Well, this letter writer definitely has different views than Jess.
Stop! People are going to cancel me if you tell them the truth.
The Nightingale Fund was established for the training of nurses during a public meeting to recognise Nightingale for her work in the war, and then there was an outpouring of generous donations to the Nightingale Fund. Her old friend, Sidney Herbert, that Secretary of War, served as the honorary secretary, and Prince George, the Duke of Cambridge, was the chairman.
That's powerful. That's a powerful throuple right there.
Another throuple. So many throuples in this story. Many paintings were made of her, and her nickname was further popularised by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's...
Henry Wadsworth Longfellows.
Well, fellow, not plural.
Oh,
Fellow.
God.
Fellow,
Okay.
but
That's way less ridiculous.
His 1857 poem, and I'm going to give you some here, Matt. It's called Santa Philomena, and I love how it opens. Lo! Exclamation mark. Lo! In that house of misery, a lady with a lamp I see, pass through the glimmering gloom and flit from room to room.
That's nice.
That's really good.
And that's
one of the better ones?
the words of Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, who was a professional.
Yes.
Not just someone writing fan mail.
Yeah, right. What a
Henry
name.
Wadsworth Fellow.
Longfellow.
Longfellow.
Even better.
I'm pretty sure he was the guy who pulled himself up from, his bootstraps or whatever. He was a kid who probably grew up pretty rough and just worked hard before finally making it as a poet.
Yeah. That feels right to me.
I think the system is pretty good like that.
Yeah.
You can, if you, England, especially back then.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do it, you could achieve it just with a bit of hard work.
That's right. Bit of elbow grease.
Yes, which is something Jess often says off pod as well, is like, if people are doing it tough, it's their fault. Then they should be working harder.
Work harder.
Work
Yeah.
harder.
Yeah.
The hardest
Get your ass up. I go by the Kim Kardashian mantra of nobody wants to work these days. Get your ass up, get to work.
Yeah, like she does.
Like she does.
Yeah.
We love you, Kim.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. Actually, I agree with everything Jess says. Wait, what? No. But honestly, pull yourself up by your bootstraps out there if you're doing it tough.
Dave.
Little joke.
Dave, do go on.
Okay, thank you so much. So I'm trying to tell you, she's suddenly very famous very quickly.
Yeah, it's almost like she's a bit of a like a Joan of Arc type thing, and that Joan of Arc was like a symbol. To
Yes,
others.
very symbolic.
Yeah.
Exactly, representative of a time and what was happening. And
Almost like a spokesperson or like but not really, but you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, because obviously it's her and 38 other nurses are working, all working very hard. But she is, I guess, seen as in charge of the project and has quite a famous family name.
Yeah.
So is now seen as like, oh my goodness, this person's doing great. And then the media have latched onto her and painted her in this sort of heroic.
I love that you can get merch of a nurse at war. Like that's so cool and weird. Mostly weird.
So she was suddenly very famous, but early on was wary of this newfound fame as a heroine, as people were calling her, and returned to England under the name Miss Smith.
Like she was finding it addictive. I don't understand the phrase.
So a heroine with E on the end there.
Oh, so you didn't pronounce the E.
Heroine.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry, she had newfound fame as a heroine.
Okay. I thought, she found her fame as a heroine. Like a drug that makes you sort of like sleep a lot. So she changed her name to Miss Smith?
Smith, yeah. Heroin makes you do weird shit.
Oh, yeah, for
weird.
sure. And you'll do anything to get it. You'll change your name to Miss Smith.
Whatever. I'll go from a cool name to a really boring name, no problem.
Whatever, for free heroin.
The fear, like that whole fear of heroin and people saying it's like it's bad for you and stuff has got so into me that I had a dream last week where I had given a heap of drugs. I'm like, yeah, this is going to be so fun.
Yeah!
Oh my God, sick. Oh, thank you.
Thank you for this bag
And
of
I
drugs.
said, what is it? And he goes, heroin. I said, oh, I don't want it. And gave
You
it
were
back.
so happy.
I'm like, whoa, drugs.
Free drugs, wow.
Oh, heroin. Oh,
Ugh.
yuck.
Even in your dreams, you're like, no, thank you.
But that's the kind of dream you wake up and go, oh, why don't I just do it in the dream? I
Yeah,
could have done
that's
anything.
right.
Yeah.
Just have a go.
It would have been interesting to see what my subconscious thought it would feel like.
Yeah. That's so funny.
What a weird dream.
Hooray!
Oh my God.
Drugs!
This is such a...
Yay!
For me?
What have I done to deserve
Oh my
such
gosh.
I don't think it would have been like a cartoonish bag that
Yeah.
said drugs on it or something.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Thank you. Oh my God.
I'm glad you didn't
drugs.
take it. That was definitely you being set up by your narc self-conscious.
Yeah.
You would have been arrested in that dream. So she's back in England. The Treaty of Paris had ended the Crimean War in March 1856, and she had remained at the hospital until it was ready to close. So she stayed back at the war.
Yeah.
She did overtime.
Yeah.
But
So I'd actually like to stay at war a little longer.
Says something about her home life, right? She's afraid of someone else courting her. She's like, I prefer war than some nerd trying to propose to me again.
Hello, would you like to go for a walk? Oh, no,
I'd just
please.
rather go to war.
She returned home exhausted but also sick, falling ill with Crimean fever, which
Well, that's why she can't leave. She loves it there.
I love it here. People now think it's probably the bacterial infection brucellosis that you can get from consuming unpasteurized dairy.
Oh, interesting.
Oh my God. I was
Brucellosis.
thinking...
Is this another dream?
No, a vague memory I had. I reckon I learned about it at a similar time in primary school. Learn about her and learn about Louis Pasteur. So I didn't realize they've not vaguely connected, but in time, maybe similar times.
He would be around at a similar time.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because when you said that before, yeah, we started talking about it. I remember being in the library and hearing about her and hearing about Louis Pasteur.
Ah.
And they were both in the news the day before.
They're about. Well, they would have been. They're born around the same time. He's 2 years older than she was.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Makes some sense.
But at
then.
this time, dairy is not commonly pasteurized. Unfortunately, there was no treatment for brucellosis at this time, and lingering effects of the disease were to last for 25 years.
Whoa.
Holy shit, she got over them in 25 years, though? That's amazing.
Yeah, that's right. But frequently, she'd be confined to her bed because of chronic pain.
Wow.
Oh, God.
And I looked up these, even if you get it these days, which is less common because of pasteurized milk, you still have to take at least 6 weeks of hardcore antibiotics.
Shit, okay.
And even then it can get severe and you might need to take a lot.
Wow.
So back then they didn't have any of that. So she was just, he would flare up and it can recur for your whole life.
Is
So-
this what inspires her to invent penicillin?
Yes, no, that's Marie Curie. Yeah.
Who is it actually? Ian Fleming.
Ian Fleming.
Damien Fleming.
Alexander Fleming.
Alexander Fleming.
Ian Fleming, the writer of the James Bond.
Well, this guy did a lot. People don't realise this.
He's
but he
prolific.
he came up with a different character, didn't he? Chitty Chitty Bang Bang or something.
That's true. He wrote Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
and
yeah.
penicillin.
God, that guy's busy.
Man, if people are not getting like us being stupid, saying this would be a very frustrating episode. If they're
Also,
not
we've
on board with us.
got to give credit to Howard Florey, Australian man.
Oh, he got involved in penicillin?
Yes, and there's another man too that I haven't I should look up. But anyway, they're the
Can I just say, if any listeners have been annoyed by this episode, whatever's been left in was the choice of AJ, our editor, not us.
And that's to be held against
He
AJ.
does not cut much of what you say. I've been listening back.
Have you? AJ, please look after me. When I'm being tedious, there's a few today. Like, genuinely cut him.
It's because you think I can say whatever and he'll cut it out. But he before was a fan of the show. He likes what you do, so of course he's leaving it in. He thinks you're great.
He thinks you're great.
But
He's
even
wrong.
the dog shit stuff, like, don't let all the dog shit through. Otherwise, we'll be up to our ankles in it and we'll all get sick
Feces everywhere.
from the Myazepam.
So she's not well and would have recurring bouts of this illness forever. But this did not slow her down. She leveraged her newfound fame and influence. She was plagued by what she had seen during the war and what she perceived as the unnecessary loss of life. She met one of her new biggest fans when she came back to England, Queen Victoria.
Whoa.
which is pretty cool. The Queen presented Nightingale with a jewel to thank her for her work. And that's pretty fun. Have a jewel. Thank you, Queen.
Thank you. Have a
That's
really
nice, Queen.
Thanks, ma'am.
But any chance you could just like invest in a better system?
Yeah.
Well, with Victoria's backing, Nightingale persuaded the government to set up a royal commission into the health of the army. Florence herself had kept meticulous records regarding the running of the Barrack Hospital, causes of illness and death, the efficiency of the nursing and medical staff, and the royal commission was based on the data that Florence had kept. I also like the efficiency of the staff. She's like, oh, I'm bloody Jean. She was shocking.
Oh, really?
Late every single... No.
Was she? Just
Jean
pushing
would pop
people
in-
down.
Jean would pop in for half an hour at the start of the day, half an hour at the end of the day, pretend she'd been there the whole time.
Oh, can you really? Walk around with a lamp, poking people, waking them up.
Just pushing people down to climb up. Is that how she got to the top?
This is from the BBC again. Leading statistician William Farr and John Sutherland of the Sanitary Commission helped Florence analyse her vast amounts of complex army data. The truth she uncovered was shocking. 16,000 of the 18,000 deaths were not due to battle wounds, but from preventable diseases spread by poor sanitation.
Whoa.
16 out of 18 deaths.
Whoa.
And it's in the thousands. So she had all these stats and figures, but she knew she'd have to present them in a way that anyone could understand if they're actually going to have any impact. So she invented the Rose diagram, also known as a coxcomb, which is a round chart similar to a pie chart. And although she didn't invent the pie chart itself, that did exist already, she did popularise this way of displaying data. And she's been described as a true pioneer in the graphical representation of statistics.
Wow.
That's like a very different area than what I was thinking.
Totally.
Yeah.
She's like did a lot of like hands-on stuff, but also...
And then also came up with new ways to display the data.
Yeah, amazing. With a coxcomb.
Or rose diagram.
I think that's a better word
Rose diagram?
than coxcomb.
Yeah, coxcomb.
What do you think of your coxcomb? It's a pube manicure. It's a pube maricuria. Ugh, that was not any of the words I was trying to say. But pubes, I think's right. You put the rest together yourselves.
I got the gist of it.
Yeah.
Well, what are the words I would have said then? AJ can chop out the rest and you can just...
Pube manicura?
It's just a pube comb.
Yeah, pube
Yeah, but you don't
brush.
want to brush.
Pube brush.
Oh, you don't double up on
You don't
comb.
want to double up. It's one of the rules of comedy, Dave.
It's a pube brush.
Well,
That's why you never made it.
That's why you never
I break all the rules. Rule of 3. How about rule of 1? I just say the punchline and then walk off. $48. Get them off.
Dad! And I'm off.
See you later.
And I was on the bus the whole time. Anyway, thanks so much.
Good night. The Rose diagram showed the sharp decrease in fatalities following the work of the Sanitary Commission. It fell by 99% in a single year. The diagram was easy to understand and it was widely republished and helped the public know that urgent change was needed in the military. And change soon came. Because of Florence's work, new army, medical, sanitary science and statistic departments were established to improve healthcare. So the Royal Commission that she'd pushed for and then been involved with and then like really advertised and worked out a way to communicate the data, change came quite quickly.
Awesome.
She's kind of like a politician as well, right?
Yeah, she's also a great communicator and also extremely well connected. So like behind the scenes is also...
I think it's one of the...
doing a bit of schmoozing to get to get change to happen.
One of the great things about society of the last, however long, is that if rich, powerful people care because of a personal connection, something might be done about it.
Yeah.
I think that's good. I think that's
That
good.
helps.
But thankfully, rich people are often, well, nearly, let's just say it always, the nicest and most generous people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, how do you get rich if not by sharing your wealth?
Yeah, exactly. Share the love. In 1860, Nightingale used a substantial part of the funds raised for the Nightingale Fund to open the Nightingale School of Nursing at St Thomas Hospital in London.
She says a substantial amount. The rest she's on heroin.
You know what she's like.
I know what she's like. Another order from Mrs. Smith, thanks.
It was cheap back then, though.
Yeah, that's true. I should say, like, it might sound like we're bashing the rich a bit today. I want to let any of our wealthy listeners know that's not the case.
No.
And to prove that we don't hate you, we will accept a chunk of cash from you.
Absolutely will.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do we accept your apology?
Yeah. say 10% of your estate,
Yeah.
for instance.
A little do go on tithe.
Yeah.
And that's
a little tithe.
that's between 3 people too. So
Yeah.
10%, that's nothing.
3.3
Yeah,
recurring or whatever.
recurring.
Because would you say, Matt, that 50% of our listeners are in the 1%?
I think 50% are in the 1%.
We've
the
done-
other 50% are in the 99.
So we have 100% of the market
Yeah.
of Earth.
That's pretty interesting,
Good to know.
actually.
Yeah, we got we got both sides of the divide.
Do you reckon we have any billionaire listeners?
Let us know.
Actually, probably not after
50% of our listeners are billionaires.
after I recently said it should be capped at $1 billion and you should only be allowed to have 3 or 4 properties. They're probably like...
That was the first time I realised we had a radical communist on the pod.
I think capping it at $1 billion. All right, commie. Jeez Louise. Look at her over here. We could end world hunger if the billionaires just had $1 billion.
Yeah, okay. Okay, go hug a whale, mate.
So she opened a school.
You're right. Nursing school.
Britannica writes, the school formalised secular nursing education, making nursing a viable and respectable option for women who desired employment outside of the home. And this model was then taken worldwide. It's interesting to note that before this, nurses had not as much respect, had a lot less respect. Charles Dickens, who was writing at this time, another one of your contemporaries, Matt.
It's a big time. Big time was me, Dicko,
Louis.
Pasteur. Yeah, I called him, you'll get a kick out of this. I called him Louis Pasteur. I called him the farmyard, put him out to pasture.
Oh, that's fun.
He
that's
liked
fun.
that.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
And
Charles Dickens.
Yeah, Dicko. Yeah,
Flo was there, obviously.
Yeah. I called her
Queen Vic.
Called her the river, Flo. But
That's good. That is fun.
And
you're good at nicknames.
Queen Vic. Yeah, we just called her the Madge.
The Madge, that's good.
That's nice.
All hail the Madge. We used to joke with her because we didn't give it.
Yeah.
We because outside the clubs we hung out in, she was revered. But we made sure to keep her feet on the ground. Yeah. She.
Can we just turn down his microphone?
Yeah, fade out a little bit.
Just fade him
no,
out.
it happened again.
Just fade
You
him
let
out.
me go. You did that.
How?
You did it.
Unbelievable.
Cut me off when you can see I'm going to go on a bad tear.
We're trying to turn the mic off. So, Charles Dickens is writing this time. He had a novel called Martin Chuzzlewit.
Jesus Christ.
Which
You
is
could
one of
name
the-
it anything.
It's not one of the more famous Dickens works, Martin Chuzzlewit. In the book, there's a famous character who's a nurse.
He panicked, did he?
Chuzzlewit.
Chuzzlewit.
No, that's what I meant to say.
He doubled down. Martin Chuzzlewit. In the book, there's a famous character called Sarah Gamp, who's a nurse. Sarah G-A-M-P.
The lamps, lady with the lamp, Sarah Gamp.
Lady with the Gamp. She was incompetent, negligent, corrupt, and an alcoholic, and she became a stereotype of untrained and incompetent nurses of the early Victorian era. That is before these reforms of Nightingale. So the nursing profession had no real respect.
Fascinating.
And that's the most famous nurse before Florence Nightingale.
Yeah.
This
Wow.
made up one.
She's changed the whole reputation
Yes.
of an industry.
Isn't that amazing? Because now, they're consistently up towards the top of most trusted profession.
Oh, for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah, my goodness.
Doctors are lower than nurses in terms of trust, which I find pretty funny.
Yeah, they're normally right up the top,
Yeah, I think
almost
so, yeah.
the very top.
Yeah.
So that's funny to think of a time before that.
Honestly-
They were thought of as drunks.
Obviously, most trusted profession is billionaire.
Obviously.
Yes, with good reason.
And a very good profession.
They're the ones who are you going to trust with money?
I'm a
People with lots of it.
Exactly.
Look at
They know how
Professional
to use
billionaire.
it. Trump's argument to become president.
Yeah.
Vote for me. I mean, I'm a billionaire. I know how to do this. All right. According to Caroline Worthington, director of the Florence Nightingale Museum, when she, Nightingale, started out, there was no such thing as nursing. The Dickens character Sarah Gamp, who was more interested in drinking gin than looking after her patients, was only a mild exaggeration. Hospitals were places of last resort, where the floors were laid with straw to soak up the blood. Florence transformed nursing when she got back from Crimea.
Holy shit.
She had access to people in high places, and she used it to get things done. Florence was stubborn, opinionated, and forthright, but she had to be those things in order to achieve all that she did.
That's amazing. Oh, so sick. So it feels like she's very worthy
Yeah.
of the reputation. And were hospitals worldwide kind of no good, or were these the first ones that took it seriously, like cleanliness and...
I don't know about taking the cleanliness seriously, but in terms of taking nursing seriously, yes, she's the first one because she also will help revolutionise other hospitals too. Many of her statistical models and her basic concepts regarding nursing remain applicable today, and because of this, she is considered the foundational philosopher of modern nursing.
That's amazing.
And although she suffered from illness throughout the rest of her life, she was well off and could afford good healthcare, but she knew that many in Victorian London could not. So in 1859, she wrote a guidebook for people caring for loved ones or neighbours at home, as she had done when she was growing up. And I love the title. It's called Notes on Nursing, what it is and what it is not.
Oh, that's important.
That's important.
It's not drinking gin.
Yeah.
And it costs 20 squid. 20 quid a copy. She made a fortune.
She killed it.
And that's how the rich stay rich.
Yeah.
The book served as the cornerstone of the curriculum at the Nightingale School and other nursing schools and has been in continuous publication ever since.
Wow.
With new editions coming out over the 165 years since it was published. Which is quite amazing. And this is just one of over 200 books or pamphlets that she wrote during her lifetime.
Holy shit.
She's quite prolific.
Wow.
Some people just... the work ethic where they really don't need much rest.
Yeah,
how do you... Like, she
also,
genuinely probably was working these huge days in the war, getting up, doing it again, and then, I've got about 4 hours of sleep. Before I do, I'm just going to write a quick pamphlet.
Yeah. But look at what you can get done if you don't have one of those pesky husbands.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Or like a mortgage or rent or anything to worry about paying.
Because you come from generational wealth.
Any money worries at all, really.
Yeah. Yeah, look what you can get done.
But still, like, it's
cool.
just amazing.
Yeah.
I think hopefully we have not tipped over to too much flippancy this week.
No, I think we have.
Okay.
And I regret it a little.
Well, I think look, it's overcorrect. She is the greatest human to have ever lived.
I actually have a Florence Nightingale tattoo.
Yeah.
I'm going to go train as a nurse in her honour.
Oh, my God.
And
that's
change the game again.
Change it again. Change it back.
Would you trust me more if I was a nurse?
Yeah, but would you be more of a Sarah Gamp or more of a
I'd be a
Florence
Sarah
Nightingale?
Gamp. I'd be a happy medium.
Yeah.
Let's say.
You'd be
I'm a nurse.
the Gamp with the lamp.
I'm a registered nurse, right?
Okay.
I work in hospitals.
Okay.
I've seen it all. You got something on your dick. Are you letting me look at it?
It's amazing how quickly you went to Dave. Can I see your dick?
Yeah. So are we at the hospital?
Yeah.
Is there anyone else available?
Nah.
If I'm really worried about it, yeah.
Is Dave?
Thank you for trusting me,
He's
Dave.
got something on his dick. Did you put it there, Jess? Like,
No.
What is it on there?
Don't make this weird, Matt. I was just
I'm picturing like a really small squid.
I was just asking if
Or
Dave
a
trusted
leech.
me. You just misunderstood. Dave got it.
You can see it.
What are you saying is on it though?
That's what we don't know because
I don't
I have
know.
to have a look
Even
at it
Dave
first.
doesn't
It's
know.
something weird.
I'm picturing
It's
like a
something
little
weird.
suctiony kind of alien or
Yes.
something. Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah, it's stuck on there.
Get
Get it
off.
off. Just get it off.
That's
Please.
like what are those things on the hull of a ship?
Like a mollusk.
Yeah, some sort of mollusk.
I've got a barnacle.
Barnacle. That's
Barnacle in my balls.
Jess, I'm sorry that you're the only one here, but can you...
Can you come back tomorrow? No, it needs to happen now.
This is important. Anyway, I was just checking.
Absolutely, we trust you. More reforms and changes were established. The Nightingale Fund, a school for the education of midwives, was established at King's College Hospital in 1862, and Nightingale also established training for district nursing and then introduced trained nurses into the workhouse system in Britain. This is when people are working in the workhouse. Kids, it's quite a grim, all that Dickensian sort of stuff. And that was aimed at improving the health of the poor and vulnerable. So there'd be actual nurses at work to make sure the workers were at least not too ill-treated. In the 1870s, Nightingale mentored Linda Richards, known as America's first trained nurse, and enabled her to return to the United States with adequate training and knowledge to establish high-quality nursing schools herself.
Wow.
Richards went on to become a nursing pioneer in the US and in Japan. So she's also teaching other disciples to go away and...
does she continue to take a cut from them ongoing?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm not sure of the business structure. I hope not.
She's a savvy businesswoman.
And I'll take 2% of everything you ever make. Many of her former students became head matrons at leading hospitals, including Lucy Osborne, regarded as the founder of modern nursing here in Australia. She was an Englishwoman who came out to Sydney and then worked at hospitals there and did the same thing, set it up and trained other people.
Good.
Very cool.
This is very different to the story. I don't know why I keep assuming it's going the way of Jess's episode about McDonald's, where that guy's like, that's all just like dog eat dog stuff. But I assume that's what's happening here as well. They're franchising it.
Yeah. Franchising nursing. And then you'll take that, but you obviously have to pay me a fee.
And they're burning rival hospitals to the ground. In 1883, Nightingale became the first recipient of the Royal Red Cross, which is not surprising as it is a military decoration for exceptional services in military nursing, which she, of course, pioneered. In 1904, she was appointed a Lady of Grace of the Order of St. John. So she's an LGSTJ.
Love it.
Okay.
In 1907, she became the first woman to be awarded the Order of Merit, which is quite an interesting award. I actually hadn't heard of it. Established in 1902 by Edward VII, admission into the order remains the personal gift of its sovereigns. Currently, Edward VII's great-great-grandson, King Charles III, and is restricted to a maximum of 24 living recipients from the Commonwealth realms plus honorary members. So at any one time, there can only be 24 appointees.
Wow.
Current members include Sir David Attenborough, playwright Sir Tom Stoppard, inventor of the internet Sir Tim Berners-Lee, artist David Hockney,
Wow.
Dyson vacuum magnate Sir James Dyson, and former Australian Prime Minister John Howard.
What?
He's in the 24.
That's weird.
Why is Johnny Howard in there? I mean, the Dyson guy, I understand.
Well, did it have anything to do with him fighting hard for Australia to not become a republic, maybe?
Little pat on the back. Thank you so much, Johnny. Thank you so much.
He was the one. Like, if they had bipartisan support, we probably wouldn't be in the monarchy anymore, but he's like a staunch monarchist.
Interesting.
Nurses still get a bit of respect. Nurse Dame Elizabeth Anion Wu and a geneticist called Paul Nurse were two of the most recent appointees.
That was a mix-up.
He's a cleaner?
Yeah, like, what?
Huh? Paul Nurse.
Me?
Well, it says Paul Nurse. He's like, wow. What? Just play it cool, Paul.
Okay.
Play it cool.
Yeah.
He was just an usher. Like,
What?
Yeah. King Charles like, I love nurses. Here's the proof.
Paul Nurse.
So there were two of the most recent 6 appointees on November 11th, 2022. King Charles awarded them, but his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, chose them in September, which is like in early September, which turns out to be just days before she died.
Wow.
So, got that, Charles.
Yeah, because
she's
gotta
like,
wait.
oh, I've got to make my final choices.
I get to have. So now he's got to wait for Attenborough and a few others.
Well, I
must be
thought
pushing.
so. I thought so, but the new 6 takes the list only to 22, so there are actually currently 2 spots vacant.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a maximum.
Of the 3, I think we should push for 2.
Okay.
And then we can, and then the 2 who get in there can later bring the other one in.
Dave.
Yeah, probably the 2 oldest here.
Which, okay.
And then the youngest, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
So regardless, it's me.
The 2. I think the 2. Or Dave, you and I. Yeah. It's not regardless, it's you.
You said the 2 oldest.
Yeah, that's not a regardless thing.
Yeah, but she was going to say that you were going to have a pitch too, weren't you?
Yeah, I was going to say, which 2 are we going to fucking pitch first?
But then when
you
I
think
realized...
shit for brains over here's going in?
When I realised that...
Shit for brains. That's you.
Dave, I got a new idea. You and me. Fuck Jess. That's my pitch.
Yeah, big boy fest. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I wonder if Prince Charles is afraid of that.
He feels like a bit of a sodge.
I don't know. I'm going to push for us. I love you, King. Are you listening, King?
Oh, he's definitely
You're my
listening.
king.
I love you.
Do you think he's ever listened to a podcast?
I'm a king. I wonder.
It'd be about something boring, I reckon.
Yeah,
if
can I imagine him
anything.
doing it whilst gardening, maybe?
Yeah.
Does he get gardens?
Yeah, he's a big gardener. He talks to his plants, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's that believes in that plants can
and
hear
the
or
bees
something.
and shit. Are the bees him? Does he love bees? Somebody loved bees, didn't they?
Yeah. there's
When you were
bees.
talking about telling the bees?
Yeah, I think he might have been involved with the bees.
Anyway.
He's got the bees now.
He's the bee's knees. I hate myself.
So Jess, that is something Jess often says off pod.
Yeah,
Prince
so-
Charles is the bee's knees.
Bee's knees.
He's my
King
hero.
Charles. King Charles. You have some respect, please.
What do you mean?
Oh, no.
What do you mean, King Charles?
No, sorry, you're right. Prince Charles.
Prince Charles.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
Future king Charles. Yeah, sorry.
Because his mum can't be queen while he's still king. That'd be
you're
weird.
Right. That would be really odd.
That would be weird.
Future king.
Yeah. So second, always be my queen.
What you need to know is that Florence Nightingale was the first woman to be awarded the Order of Merit in 1907. In 1908, Florence Nightingale was given the honorary Freedom of the City of London. And even though struck down with illness, she remained phenomenally productive in social reform. During her bedridden years, she also did pioneering work in the field of hospital planning, and her work propagated quickly across Britain and the world.
She has so many awards and medals. It's wild.
Oh, I've got a few more to read out too.
Is she wearing them all at once?
Yeah. That's why she can't get out of bed.
She'd just be like swaying.
60 kilos of medals. Sadly, though, all good things must come to an end, and Florence Nightingale died peacefully in her sleep in her room at 10 South Street, Mayfair, in London on the 13th of August, 1910, at the age of 90.
Ooh, good innings.
At Nightingale's prior request, her family declined the offer of a state funeral and burial at Westminster Abbey. Instead, she was honoured with a memorial service at St Paul's Cathedral, London. Her burial is in the family plot in St Margaret's Church, East Wellow in Hampshire. As you've heard from me here, there's a lot of praise-filled articles written about Florence Nightingale. But not everyone is so praiseworthy of her legacy. And let's see here I feel like we've already been on a roller coaster of you sort of getting on board.
No, I'm all
overly on board.
I'm all in now. And I always was. We were just mucking about.
Well, let's see how you feel about this. She has a few critics of her perceived racism and active role in British colonialism, particularly as more of her writing has come to light.
Dave, now, can I just quickly say, I'm reserving... I'm reserving my right to judge. I think I might have been onto something early.
She was a very religious person who came from a very conservative and wealthy upper-class background. Nurse Journal writes, her beliefs and actions were highly influenced by the elite social circles her family belongs to. She was, amongst many other jobs, she had so many jobs, she was a close advisor to the Governor of New Zealand, Sir George Grey, during his second term in office, from 1861 to 1868, during a time in which the Maori people were oppressed and attacked. Collected letters and reports she sent to Grey and others, published in 2004, not that long ago, revealed a hidden legacy. It is now known that Nightingale supported the alienation of Maori land in order to force migration to European settlements and to bring contact with what she termed the inestimable blessings of Christian civilization. And she has also been found to be critical in her writings of the native peoples of both Canada and here in Australia. So to mark what would have been Nightingale's 200th birthday in 2020, the World Health Organization dubbed 2020 the year of the nurse and midwife. Obviously, 2020 was overshadowed by a lot of other things.
But nurses were busy, weren't they?
Yes, they were very busy. So was the World Health Organization.
Yeah.
But not everyone agreed with this celebration. According to Croaky Health Media, it was Nightingale's troubling role in colonisation which led the NZNO, which is the New Zealand Board of Directors, to decide that on International Nurses Day 2020, we'll be celebrating our Indigenous and homegrown nurses instead. So there has been some backlash against her perceived cultural canonisation, and she's been lauded all around the world, but a lot of people have been like, well, we found in her writing that she had some pretty awful views and also helped oppress a lot of people because she thought they should be welcomed into quote-unquote white Christian society.
Yeah.
And that is something that Jess often quotes these writings, saying that she thinks there may be something to it.
I was just saying I think I was born in the wrong era, you know? Take me back to the mid-1800s, where I'm not surprised at all somebody of her social standing and skin colour had these kind of views, you know?
That's right. So I couldn't not mention those things despite her other achievements and despite her role in colonialism, which is no doubt that she absolutely had a big part of being a close friend or a friend of Queen Victoria. She has been and continues to be honoured around the world. Since 1965, International Nurses Day has been celebrated on her birthday, the 12th of May. May is National Nurses Month because Nightingale's birthday is in May. The President of India honours nursing professionals with the National Florence Nightingale Award every year on International Nurses Day. 2 years after her death, the International Committee of the Red Cross created the Florence Nightingale Medal, given to excellent nurses every 2 years. The Nightingale Pledge is a modified version of the Hippocratic Oath, which nurses in the United States recite at their pinning ceremony at the end of training. Florence Nightingale's image appeared on the reverse of £10 banknotes issued by the Bank of England from 1975 to 1994.
Like as a miracle?
Oh my God, here she is.
Again?
That was meant to be blank.
Whoa.
And prior to 2002, other than female monarchs, she was the only woman whose image had ever adorned British paper currency.
That's pretty cool.
The centenary of her death in 2010, she also had a special £2 coin made with her image showing her taking a patient's pulse. Oh my goodness, there's so much more. In May 2010...
Let me guess, the patient was white.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. In May 2010...
Knew it.
The Florence Nightingale Museum at St Thomas Hospital in London reopened to honour the 100th anniversary of Nightingale's death. It now houses more than 2,000 artefacts commemorating her life. As well as this museum, there's a number of hospitals named after her, as well as statues and memorials. She's been depicted in books, TV shows, movies, sketches, like I said, radio dramas, countless documentaries and biographies. There's a US Navy ship that's been named after her. So was an asteroid in 1981.
Whoa.
A Dutch KLM jumbo jet was also named after her. She's huge. She's huge.
Massive.
So many things being named after her. Finally, the BBC sums up her legacy. They're right. The headstrong girl with a well-documented shell collection had achieved so much in a field once deemed unsuitable for women of her class. Often a lone female voice appealing to the Victorian establishment, her skill for communication and mathematics helped overhaul army and civilian healthcare and saved thousands from a gruesome death. She shrewdly used her public mandate to urge governments into action, enshrining sanitation and personal well-being in our healthcare culture. Florence Nightingale, the lady with the lamp.
Wow. Other than nurse, I don't think I knew basically any of that. Wouldn't have even probably been able to tell you period of time, you know?
Right, yeah, I don't think I would have necessarily been out.
Which I'm a bit ashamed about, but what a story.
What a story. And often if you look her up, like it will say famous nurse and statistician.
Yeah, okay.
I read that and went, oh, I didn't know about that. And then because she used mathematics and the display of data so powerfully to get change.
Yeah, absolutely worth mentioning, you know, the modern criticism of her, for sure. It's not, you don't want to gloss over that. But yeah, as you're saying that, I'm like, this doesn't surprise me.
Yes.
You know, that I'm not excusing, you know what I mean? I'm just sort of like, oh, yep, back then. Of course they thought like that.
And there is something about, again, not excusing anything, but when you grow up in a bit of a bubble, I'm sure that you do have, you know, you might be more likely to pick up some crook ideas.
Yeah.
It's a shame that, like, when she's traveling around, she didn't.
Yeah, open her mind up a little bit.
But also there is someone, almost like people who really believe in a Christianity and a God. It makes sense that they'd be like, yeah, it'd be... we're saving them by if it's good if people, which is obviously it's an unhealthy way to think about the world. But if you did believe in like a god, that makes some sense to me that you would be like basically believing in missionary sort of stuff. I don't know.
And you can totally go like, yeah, wow, I can see the work that she did at improving just the education of nursing, the impact you have on that.
That's undeniable, yeah.
But we don't necessarily feel great about calling a hospital after her in this country.
Yeah.
So that's fine. You know, thanks for what you did, but yeah, I totally get that.
Like, and she's fully dead as well.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't even think she gives a shit.
She doesn't give a shit.
She's gone.
She's gone. She's fully dead.
Or she's up in heaven going, I knew exactly like my beliefs are right. I wish only people who believe like I do are up here. I wish I told more people.
Yeah, and we'll look like fools when we go to hell. But at least we'll have each other.
Yeah, that's true.
I have great comfort in that. That if heaven and hell are real and physical places, I'm not going to be alone.
No.
Don't you drag me down there with you.
As if you're not going to hell.
Oh, come on.
You know what you did.
You know what you do every day, you little sinner.
Yeah.
I never.
You know that thing on your cock? It's your hand, mate. Stop playing with it.
Christ.
Dave, great story. Beautifully told. Love. These are the ones I think I probably am not as excited off the page for the biographies and that. Compared to like, here's a mysterious crime or heist or something.
Yeah. Totally.
And I always enjoy them when I'm hearing it.
Same.
Yes. And I think it's the same. They do seem to get slightly less downloads on our end too than the ones with the prettier, sexy action packed
Which makes sense because, I mean, if we're feeling like that, it makes sense that our listeners
But then every time we do one, I go, there's a good story here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that brings us to everyone's favourite section of the show. Did you know that?
What?
Where we thank some of our fantastic Patreon supporters. Now, if you want to get involved, go to patreon.com/dogoonpod. And you can sign up on a bunch of different levels. There's all sorts of things you can get. There's now 4 bonus episodes a month on a certain level. You get to vote for topics. I don't know if Dave, did this one go to the vote? Or is this
Yes, absolutely did. Yeah. And it was very close too, because I was on the Sydney Scheinberg voting level. Mm-hmm. We've got 2 voting levels, one which is most of the supporters and one which is a bit more exclusive. A bit higher tier, and with this one, I think it only won by 3 votes, 2 votes even.
Yep.
So, like, if you jump on this level, you can actually change the outcome of the show and therefore history.
You have power.
Right. Exactly.
Then, the 4 bonus episodes each month, including a mini report. Jess did one earlier this month, I think, or was it last month? I don't know.
This month.
But it was about the pizza funeral.
Yep.
Which is so much fun. And one of our looser episodes we've recorded in a while, I reckon. Yeah. And now we're doing a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, which is released monthly. So, as well as the Brendan the Fraser podcast and another sort of a game or something we'll play. So, and you get the whole back catalogue. There's 200 plus. They're ready to be listened to if you sign up on a certain level. I forget which one it is. I think it's Dreamboat Cooper. But
yes, that's true.
So there's a bunch of different things. But the first thing we normally talk about in this final section of the show, where we thank our great Patreon supporters, is people on the Sydney Scheinberg level. They get involved in a thing called the fact, quote, or question section, which has a little jingle, go something like this.
Fact, quote, or question.
Ooh. Oh, who always remembers to sing. She always remembers to sing. Beautifully done. Love that quick harmonising. And the first one this week of 4 that I read out for the first time on the show, that's just to give myself an excuse for mispronouncing anything, comes from Tess Chilcott. You also get to give yourself a title, and Tess's title is President of Uncomfortableness During Pregnancy.
Okay.
It's an important role.
An important job. Somebody has to do it.
And El Presidente has a question writing, "Hey guys, how is you?"
Good, thanks.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
You're going great. Thank you.
I'm pretty good too. Thank you so much. Just hanging out with my friends, having a good time. And Tess goes on to say, "Anywho, question/whinge awaits you."
Okay,
Ooh, love a
great.
whinge.
Love a whinge.
Whinge away, please. Unless it's at our expense.
Yeah, don't whinge
my
at
goodness.
me. I can't handle it.
So, because I always say if you ask a question, I'd love you to answer it if possible.
Perfect.
Yep.
And Tess has done that. The question is, what is the most uncomfortable you have ever been in your life? And here is...
Do we think...
What you're thinking on that?
Maybe we'll know from the answer. Physical or like, oh my God, I want to get out of this situation, or it's like, I'm trapped in a box and I need to go.
I'm only going off the title of uncomfortableness during pregnancy. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, you're right. That could be either. Can I touch your tummy? You know?
Yeah.
And they go,
Although they don't
I'm
say,
not
can
pregnant.
I'm touching.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that's true. It could be either. Let's find out. From like 28 or 29 weeks pregnant, I've had bilateral carpal tunnel syndrome, meaning in both hands. I'm pretty much useless. I think it's physical, Dave.
Thank you.
I get about 2, maybe 3 good hours a day where I can get things done before I basically stop and stare at a wall. Jesus.
Oh, mate.
Or window or TV. It's good to have options, I suppose. It happens because the swelling from pregnancy puts too much pressure on the ligament that protects the nerve, so it collapses onto the nerve.
Oh, no.
And causes pain.
Oh, my God.
The pain would be almost okay, annoying even, but I'm carrying a watermelon around my front and need my wrists and hands to get up, use a keyboard, use a phone. Even typing this is taking longer than usual.
Oh.
Even playing The Sims hurts.
Oh, no.
So I can't even entertain myself that way.
That's cruel.
That's too far.
Yeah.
I'm currently 36 weeks pregnant.
Oh,
there is potentially another month or, God forbid, more left. I'm told it will magically disappear once I give birth. Anyway, thanks for listening to me whinge. Enjoy hearing how uncomfortable you've felt. Thanks for the pod. It's been helping me through what has been a frustrating, and then I feel guilty for being frustrated. Mum guilt starts early. You're all amazing. Thank you.
Oh, Tess, that sounds awful.
Jeez.
Whinge away, my friend. You
Brutal.
absolutely deserve a whinge, and we will listen.
Yeah, 36 plus weeks in. Hang in there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think I could top that.
No, I haven't been that uncomfortable, I don't think. I will say, most uncomfortable I've been, the most recent example, I don't know if I've told you guys, I got hit by a car.
Oh, my
Did I
God.
tell you that?
That does ring a bell.
Did I tell you that? Cracked a rib.
Why'd you do that?
That hurt. that was very uncomfortable. Getting in
Yes.
and out of bed, actually very hard.
That's painful.
Yeah.
And ongoing as well.
Yeah, it didn't stop for a while.
And I imagine one of those things that's like you don't realise how often you're moving that part of your body, even with things that are like completely unconnected to what you think would be that section.
Literally getting in and out of bed was awful. Because anytime your like core engages slightly, it would kill.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, maybe surgeries. I've had a few surgeries that sucked.
Yeah.
But the funniest one, maybe, it wasn't funny because I hated it, but when we did our Perth show, the day we left, waking up, I cricked my neck.
Oh.
And it was sore all week from memory. But yeah, when I was a teenager, I had an operation on one of my balls, and it was like cut. It was cut
Just
into.
that you said balls funny. I'm sorry.
No, I know. I used to be really
My
embarrassed
balls.
about it, but
Everything okay?
Yeah, everything was okay, but like the pain afterwards was pretty incredible for quite a while.
Again, you don't realise how often you use your balls.
That's right. And yeah, the nose surgery last
guy?
year. Yeah, that was the surgery was just a check of the.
If there's anything left.
Anything left? There's just dust down there.
He's emptied them.
Oh my God, do not resuscitate.
Like, I think a pregnancy that goes great would probably be so difficult. So when there's complications and these symptoms you weren't even expecting when you're trying to get your head around. As a feminist, I think I can talk to this.
Yeah.
Dave, I don't know if you've had any experiences around this recently.
Oh my gosh, I can't. Oh, definitely with a pregnancy. It felt like every time something would happen with my wife, she'd be like, oh, I wonder if this is from pregnancy. Think of anything in the world. If you type in pregnancy symptoms next to it, you can write like toes all falling blue, falling off and swapping from left foot to right foot. Pregnancy. A thing will come up on Health Direct saying happens in 4% of pregnancies. No matter what crazy random symptom.
It's wild.
Which is so unfair.
Yeah.
And I completely feel for you.
Looking it up, I guess it would be slightly reassuring that you're like, oh, thank God, it's vaguely normal.
Yes,
but still you'd be like, come on, what's next?
Yeah,
Exactly.
and just the fact that as soon as you've had the baby, it's like, all fixed. That's crazy.
The body
That
is
So
amazing.
hang in there, Tess.
So I could never compare to anything like that, and I've been fortunate so far to experience a lot less discomfort and pain than I'd say even the most average person. But when I have had esophagus surgeries in the past,
Oh, man, yeah.
like it just hurts to swallow for, like all the way down for a couple of days, and that's only for 2 days, so I can't really complain at all.
Yeah. No,
but
you're
if
still allowed to
But I
have a
had to
whinge.
pick something.
Yes, it would be that.
To answer this question, I would say that is very uncomfortable.
Dave, I'm going to let you complain about that. No
But
worries.
definitely
safe
not
space.
comparing. Not comparing.
No, God, no.
Because that's
We're
another
not
level.
one-upping Tess here.
No, we are. I'm probably like 7.
Dave wasn't trying to one-up her. I think he has.
I think he
I'm
has,
not
but
trying.
we weren't trying to.
I'm succeeding.
But good luck with everything. I hope it goes great.
Yes. The next one comes from Sky, a.k.a. Caramel Donut and Habanero BLT.
Oh.
That sounds interesting.
Caramel and habanero in a BLT.
Bacon, lettuce, tomato. Is
Yeah.
that BLT?
I reckon, no, it was a caramel donut, right?
Yes.
So it's two separate things.
Thank God. Okay.
Yeah,
I was
'cause that
imagining
was-
it
that was
in
getting
one.
a bit
I
crazy.
was also picturing
One stack
I
sandwich.
was thinking the donut worked as the bun. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I could be wrong, but I'm seeing it as like a lunch and a dessert.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
And this is fun. This is the first time because you can call them anything. It used to be just fat quote or question. Now people do brags, they do suggestions, they do jokes, recipes, all sorts of
Whinge.
stuff.
They
This
do
is
anything.
The first time we've had one that is called List of Words I Don't Like.
Oh, have we had list of what I like before?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've had like.
That might have been, you might have been away, Matt,
Ah.
if that doesn't ring a bell for you, but I'm not, okay.
Yeah, definitely. And that was fun.
Yep.
So Sky says
Might have even been Sky
It was
too.
probably Sky.
my title is my breakfast order at Timmy's.
There we go.
Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons,
I
yep.
had to write it down so I don't forget it. So after the much beloved list of words I like,
Yes.
here's some words I don't. Guzzle,
Oh, I like guzzle.
grandpa, panties,
Yeah.
Okay, that's a bit. Yeah.
fungus,
Mm,
celiac,
okay.
asthma,
Sure.
distasteful.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's interesting. It's so funny for you to ask us to read out words you're not going to enjoy.
Oh yeah.
I didn't mind any of those, to be honest.
Yeah. no, no, no.
Panties I don't think is a good word.
Nah, panties is
Panties is
a
a
great
word I would never say.
but it doesn't bother me that much.
I'm just looking back at the words
Yeah,
so good.
the popular words, liked words were fantastic.
That was good fun. We enjoyed that.
We were on the same page with those, I believe. But
yeah,
obviously, everyone's different words.
I can't even think of a word I don't like now.
Classics are like, moist.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
But yeah, panties is in that sort of. I don't know why panties. I think I don't like a lot of words like, we say Palmer.
Yeah.
For some reason, palmy really great. Something sounds so infantile.
Oh, for a chicken parmigiana,
which they
down
say in
south in Australia, in Victoria anyway, we say Palmer.
Yeah.
But maybe up north in New South Wales and Queensland, at least they say Palmy.
Palmy. It's like kindy.
Yeah.
Kindy. It's kinder.
But they don't say Parmigiana, do they? They still say Parmigiana.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Anyway.
It's just very childish. You want a little palmy?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Got any kindy?
Oh, I always hated growing up.
No, I'm going to kinder and I'm having a palmer.
I'm a big boy.
I'm a big boy.
Thank you.
I don't know why.
I always hated growing up like Bicky, Telly,
Chocky. Yeah,
Chocky.
okay. Yeah, I don't like Chocky.
Chocky.
You get some Chockies? Ugh.
I hate wifey. You hear that?
wifey's
Do you use
like that.
wifey?
I did not use wifey.
I got friends who call their wives wifey. Oh, I better check with the wifey. Oh, man.
Just say her name. I know her.
I know her quite well. I was at the wedding. I was the best man.
I reckon you have to say.
It's to date her.
You say.
You stole it from me.
Wife or
not
husband.
forget.
I will never forget.
Every time you say wifey, it
Could have been me. Could have been my wifey.
Should have been my wifey. I love you, Susan.
Susan, please. It's not too late.
Leave this buffoon.
But that's a good conversation starter. I'd like to hear in the Patreon group, what are some other words
you don't like
that people don't like? Because
Yeah.
I'd like to compare, because I'm sure there's others I go, yeah, that is gross.
I know. I say telly, so I don't know why that one's okay.
That
with
one's
me.
less annoying for me now I've grown up.
Yeah.
But and I still just don't like really Bicky or Chocky.
Nah. I don't
Telly's
say
fine.
it. Yeah.
Great stuff from Sky. But no, I definitely agree with. I do like guzzle.
I love guzzle.
Guzzle's fun.
Yeah.
Guzzle's fun.
All right. Thanks, Sky. The next one comes from Stephen Edmonds, aka sufferer of a Pavlovian response.
Okay.
And Stephen's offering us a fact.
Interesting.
I'll make it clear up front that this is a dull fact. All right,
Okay,
Dave?
thank you. I'm going to tune out then.
Wait and see what Dave says
I'm
about
ready
that.
to go. Ready to go. Stephen, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Quoting from the history page on the Mount Waverley Secondary College's website. Jess, is that local to you?
Yep.
Or it was?
Local to you, but you didn't go to that school, did
No,
you? Yep.
I know it well though.
This is from the website. Interesting to note that Mount Waverley High School was the first Victorian high school to make use of steel-framed Laminex top tables and upholstered chairs.
That's so dull.
That
It's
is
good.
so dull.
That's great.
Imagine you're just scampering for anything to hang your hat on.
What a claim
as
to
school.
fame.
I will wager that they do not have an alumni section worth writing about.
And that's just the. That's in Victoria.
Yeah.
Often you'll get a dull fact like that in the Southern Hemisphere.
Yes.
This is just not even in like Australia.
Just one state. Second smallest
and
state.
interesting to note.
That would have been that. You didn't go to that school then, Dave?
Mount Waverley?
No.
No, that's not really near my area. But
Oh no, you were Eltham. Sorry,
Eltham.
man.
did you go to Warrendart High School? Might sound slightly similar to Waverley.
Yeah, Mount Waverley was close to us. We used to have
I thought you
water
two
balloon fights
lived-
at the station.
Right, but you didn't ever live in that area, Dave. Why did I think that? I just think of the Afflanesis one
Because
little
Dave
spot.
lives with me now.
Oh yes.
Been kicked out of home.
Um,
Sorry, are we not saying that on the
That
pod?
is not true. I love my house.
His Dave's wife's gone to stay with her mum, and
Dave can't be left alone in
Not
his
true
house.
either. Oh my gosh. So is this Mount Waverley Secondary College we're talking about?
and he did say, Stephen said, why did this catch my eye? Because it was in 1966, which is the same year that Boston Celtics won a championship. St. Kilda Football Club won a championship. The Chicago Bills was formed. Chicago Bulls
Bills.
even.
The Bills.
They started as the
Thinking of the
Bills?
Buffalo
I
Bills.
love the Bills.
And England won the World Cup in the men's soccer.
Is this Mount Waverley Secondary College we're talking about?
Sure is.
Well, I can't believe I said they don't have any notable alumni because they've had Australian Test cricketer Peter Hanscombe and also the great Paul Rifle went there.
Whoa, pistol.
Yes.
Fantastic.
As
Big
well as a bunch
cricketing
of
school.
footballers you might know. Taylor Duman, Jeff Hogg,
Jeff Hogg, goal kicker for the Lions and Tigers.
Chris Knights,
And
Brett
Bears.
Thornton. There you go. Gemma I don't know how to say that. Legioa from AFLW. Sorry, I can't believe I said that. I'm so sorry.
Thank you so much, Stephen Edmonds. Last one this week comes from Piper Gallagher, aka Mr. Plough. That's my name. That name again is Mr. Plough.
Great.
And Piper has a suggestion, writing, I'd do something other than suggestion one of these times, but I literally have the perfect taste and I don't want to withhold that from the world. So here we are with yet another suggestion. This time I'm recommending a comic, yawn, called Something is Killing the Children. The yawn was written in.
All right, I was going to say, that's quite rude.
The title can double as the beginning of the plot synopsis, so I'll just plug that in here. Something is killing the children in a smallish American town. There's obviously a fair amount of intrigue around these events since, ideally, that isn't meant to be happening. The story follows the lone survivor of a group of friends who were killed by a monster that can't be seen by adults. Because of the creature's selective invisibility, the authorities are led to assign blame to the most obvious human suspects, such as relatives and friends of the victims, until a mysterious woman with big eyes, a bandana with teeth on it, and the surname Slaughter comes to town to hunt the monsters. A beautiful and genuinely horrifying story about secret societies, the frustration of not being taken seriously as a child, and agonizing grief. P.S. If you think comics are for nerds, first of all, you're right. But secondly, it may be adapted to television soon. Thank you so much, Piper.
Thank you, Piper.
That sounds like a TV show I would watch, and a comic book I wouldn't even know where to find. Where do you get comics? Probably online shops.
The comic book shop.
Comic book shop.
That makes sense. Thank you so much to Piper, Stephen, Sky, and Tess. Next thing we like to do is shout out to some of our other great Patreon supporters. Jess, you normally come up with a bit of a game.
That's true. What industry they changed?
Okay.
Oh, they've changed it completely. I love that.
I'll read out the name. Jess, you say the first part of the industry. Dave says the second part of the industry.
Great.
Here we go.
Okay.
I'd love to thank from Moe here in Victoria. Moccasins on everyone is what we used to call it. A bit of fun. Loved hanging out in Moe. Get
Moccasins on everyone.
Because it's a bogany kind of town.
Sure.
And it's spelled MOE. Is that what it means? So it stands for?
That's right.
Gotcha.
Oh, I understand now.
But I used to have holidays with friends out in Moe. Love Moe. So from Moe, please, and thank you, Caitlin Powell.
So am I saying the industry and Dave?
No, you're saying the first part of it. So, an industry might be like, you could say any word and then Dave will turn into an industry. You'll say like shoe and then he'll say repairman.
Okay, shoe.
Repairman. Do you think that maybe I just want to?
All right, Dave, you read out the names. Me and Jess will do it.
No,
you don't get it. That's fine.
I thought it would make more sense if Jess said the industry and I say how they've changed the game.
All right, here we go.
Does that make sense?
Yep, go on.
From Moe, Caitlin Powell.
Shoe repairman industry.
Well, shoes are no longer just for the feet. Doubled their market.
Yeah.
Shoes for the hands.
Hand shoes.
Hand shoes.
And she's going to repair them too.
Yep.
Hand shoes, I think he went to Mount Waverley High. From address unknown, can only assume from deep within the fortress of the moles. Please, thank you to Matt Rawls.
Professional mascots.
Professional mascots.
Yeah, like sporting mascots.
Oh, okay. Well, they've decided that it'll no longer just be one person inside because you have to pay an adult wage. Now it will be two children inside.
Perfect. Junior rates.
Exactly.
Double juniors still less than seniors.
Yeah.
From Glenelg East in South Australia, please, and thank you to Natalie Fragnito.
Oh, great name. And Natalie actually revolutionised the travelling salesman industry.
Oh, travelling salesman. And she's made it. Get this. This travelling salesman no longer travels. The customer now comes to you.
Oh,
she's built like a sort of a shop front.
Yeah.
Like a building.
Yeah.
That the travelling customer will travel to purchase the product.
That's
clever.
That's a game changer.
Clever.
That's a game changer.
Yeah. I love that.
From Pyle in Great Britain, it's Bob McBob.
Bob McBob has changed fish and chip shops forever.
Fish and chip shops, because they're now doing pizza as well. Both well.
And
that's the first time they've ever done fish and chips and pizza well.
Yeah,
usually they do one.
Yeah, that's true.
Usually one well.
Usually one's a bit
both
shit.
bad.
Yeah, but this time they're both good.
Oh, that's great.
That is a game changer.
That is huge.
Thank you so much, Bob McBob. From Bremerton in Washington in the United States. Thank you, Dylan Long.
Dylan Long has changed the working lives of airline pilots.
Airline pilots, you say?
Like commercial airlines, yeah.
Okay.
There's now 2 of them.
But they're both children, and you only have to pay them half the rate. But there's 2, so if one goes down, you still got the other child to rely. And they're good kids. It's like school captains and stuff like that.
And by saving money on the wages of the pilots, therefore everybody's tickets are actually a bit cheaper.
That's not happened at all. They've actually gone up somehow.
Oh, okay.
Like
They're gouging. They're gouging us.
Catch a flight with Cutie Airlines or something.
Okay, don't even joke because I would fucking.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking here. This is 12-year-old Renee from Ringwood. I don't know how to fly a plane, but I'm going to have a lot of fun up here doing it.
But I've got dimples.
I've got a colouring sheet. I'm going to have a good time. Thank you. Cross-check and prepare the cabin for landing. Thank you so much.
And
landing, I'm in takeoff. Oh, I can't remember which is which.
Now pushing the button for autopilot. Hopefully that takes care of everything. All right, over and out.
That was little 8-year-old Renee from Ringwood.
12. You said 12.
Well, she lied on her
Oh
resume.
my God, Renee.
From Woolwich in
Woolwich.
From Woolwich
What
in
you
Great
like?
Britain, it's James Haran.
James Haran.
Haran. James.
That's the business?
No.
The Haran's so nice.
James has changed the biz. The accounting biz.
The accounting biz. Well, instead of using numbers,
Yeah.
they're now using words.
Okay.
Because some people are scared by numbers,
Yes.
but a lot of people know words.
Yes.
So instead of saying 4 or a single digit,
Yeah.
now they're writing FOUR.
Oh.
You understand?
That's tedious.
Yeah, but people understand. They're less scared of it.
Okay.
They're making accounting more accessible.
Love that.
One letter, multiple letters at a time.
That's beautiful work, James.
From Mooresville in North Carolina. Is this actually the state that had the first mini golf
I don't think
place
so,
really
no.
popularised?
Oh, This'll Do.
This'll Do.
I've heard of it.
Fantastic spot. I think they also have blue fire trucks
In some cities
in one
or
city,
some cities.
which makes sense because they're water things.
Yeah, love it.
It's from Mooresville in North Carolina in the United States. Please and thank you, Susan Cumberides.
Susan actually made life better for CEOs.
Oh,
Wow.
made life better for CEOs. And you know what they've done?
What?
More money.
Yes.
Revolutionised it.
Yeah.
This happened
By allowing children to work.
exactly.
Yeah.
And putting their airfares up.
Yeah, and that makes more money for CEOs.
Exactly.
And happy CEO.
Happy CEO, happy CEO. And they're the most important. And of course, trickle down to the others.
That's right. Their
Susan's,
happiness, not the money.
Susan's name could also be Susan Camberides or Yeah. What do you reckon? Anyone want to have another go there?
I reckon Camberides feels right.
Camberides.
I like it. It's a
I
great
like
name.
it a lot.
From address unknown, can only assume from Deep Within the Fortress of the Mole. Please and thank you, Melon.
Which is actually a name that they've changed to later in life after they revolutionised the fruit picking industry.
Ah, okay. And now they're using a small footstool to get to the higher bits of the fruit tree.
Yeah.
Before that, they were jumping.
Yeah, and that hurts.
And if they couldn't reach it, they were leaving them
Leaving
there.
it. There were so many oranges up. Oh, so I can't get up there.
What's wrong with my tippy toes?
Oh, I'm reaching a melon.
Which is what's how they got the nickname. And finally, from Lilydale in Tasmania here in Australia, it's Nom Blashki.
Oh, Nom.
Hi, Nom.
Nom changed the game for hoteliers.
Hoteliers
Great
everywhere.
word. That's on a list of words I like.
Yeah.
Nom has actually got a great revolutionary idea, and it's taking off actually in the Northern Hemisphere. Hopefully we'll see it soon in the Southern Hemisphere. It's hotels, but on really big boats.
Oh.
So it's like a floating hotel.
Okay.
And then they've got roller coasters for some reason.
Wait, like would there be restaurants in there or
Restaurants,
something?
pools, an ice
On a
rink.
big boat?
Entertainment.
Must be a very big boat.
Very big boat. I think potentially terrible for the environment, but a lovely, fun way to have a holiday on the seas.
Cool.
I mean, all holidays are bad for the environment, Dave. Stop being a buzzkill. Either stay put. You're the biggest holidayr I know. You shut your mouth.
Either stay put or shut up.
Love a great holiday. Cannot wait for the next one. On the seas, thanks to Nom.
Thank you so much to Nom, Melon, Susan, James, Dylan, Bob, Natalie, Matt, and Caitlin. The last thing we need to do is welcome a few people into the Tribute Club. We've got 4 this week. And how does this work? I think, Dave, you're in the best place to explain.
Yeah, this is a Hall of Fame for people that have been on the shout-out level or above for 3 consecutive years. We've already thanked them a few years ago for their support, but it's been ongoing. So to thank them again, we enshrine them by welcoming them into the Do Go On Triptych Clubhouse, where you run on in. There's once you're inside, you can't leave, but why would you want to?
Why would you
get the tattoo, and then you go straight to the bar, you get a fantastic drink, you go see some music, and then we've got all sorts of entertainment, and Jess usually organises some food or drink.
Yeah, but the problem is this time the kitchen is actually flooded with about an inch of shit.
Oh no! We keep trying to tell people this is the best place in the world, Jess. That's not. You could make any. This is like when we talk about an old movie name, and it could have been anything. This could be anything. It doesn't have to.
Yeah, but something having the ability to be anything doesn't mean it has to always be good. That's just not attainable, Matt. I'm just being.
There are
honest.
4 people. This is going to be their first experience.
Everybody
of
tell
the
yourself
Triptych
there's
Club.
no shit. I wouldn't be drinking or anything this week, but if you'd like to, by all means, I'll get you anything you want. There's definitely no shit back here.
Okay, look, everyone, I've ordered in some bottled water, okay, and bottled beers and bottled everything, and it's come from a really sanitary place. The place that actually sanitized the sewage.
Oh.
And I don't think you can get any more sanitized than
I
that.
think it's safe, yeah.
So, Dave, you've also normally book a band for the after party.
Yes, you're never going to believe it. This week I've booked Mike Oldfield to play all of Tubular Bells. Yes, but
huge.
a cappella. A cappella.
That's what I'm doing. It's not Tubular Bells, is it? What's that? It's a jingle.
Go again. That's Coheed and Cambria.
Oh, it is too? Wow, that's amazing.
Well done,
you knew what I didn't even know what I was doing. But
that's Mike Oldfield. Mike Oldfield will be hitting the stage, Tubular Bells, but for the first time, completely a cappella.
Whoa.
Incredible work. Mike, take it away.
I might join him on stage.
Yeah. Basically, the instruments didn't arrive, but that's okay.
Dad's got that on vinyl, as I think probably like 100 million people did at the time. It was a huge selling
Every
album.
dad.
Yeah.
All dads have it.
Every dad. Are you even a dad?
Yeah, you're not a dad.
Show us your bells. You say you're a dad, show us your bells.
Show us your bells then. I can show you my kids. No.
I want to see your bell.
You could have got those kids from anywhere. I want to see those bells.
Show us your bells.
Show us your bell. I'm a Dell. Well, I'm a bell.
I think I'd love everyone listening whose dad has tubular bells to post a photo with your dad and tubular bells.
Yeah.
Hashtag Dad's Bells. We'd love to see that going viral.
I'll also enjoy, because this will be in a few weeks when I won't remember this. But we're bringing in 4 people today. I'm on the door. I've got the clipboard ready. I'm going to read out the name. Dave's up on stage. He's going to hype them up. Weak wordplay. I'm only saying that because it is, and people won't be disappointed when they hear what he says.
Don't listen to him.
It's normally based on the name or the place. Jess sort of hypes up Dave. All right, we ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right, welcome in from Los Angeles, La La Land itself in California. It's Emily Keane.
I'm very Emily on this person. It's Emily Keane. Very keen on this, but that was the little joke there.
That's a joke.
Thank you so much, Emily Keane. You're the best.
Oh, apologies for the pronunciation, but from Enschede in the Netherlands, it's Noor-Sheaboom.
Oh my God.
It's certainly not a snorsky boom because we'd never be snoring around
Noor-Sheaboom. Whoa, man, that's an amazing name. From Address Unknown, can only assume from deep within the Fortress of the Moles. Please welcome in, it's Tim Hansen.
I'm a Tim Fanson.
Oh, I love you, Tim.
And finally, from Address Unknown, can only assume once again from deep within the Fortress of the Moles. Please welcome in Katie Tipton.
Here's a tip. You got to meet Katie. They're a delight.
Welcome in, Katie, Tim, Noor, and Emily. Make yourselves at home. Please enjoy some of the bottled refreshments and get ready to hear a cappella Tubular Bells. Hey, and if there's any dads out there, show us your bells.
Show us your bells.
Hashtag show us your bells.
We want to see them.
We want to see them. I want a photo with you and your dad, or just the album.
Yeah.
Or just your dad. Or just your dad.
Or just your dad.
If you don't live in
show
the
us
same
your
house
bells,
as your dad.
just your dad.
Just your dad. Yeah, actually, just show us your dad.
Show us your dad.
But you get double points if they're holding tubular bells.
Yeah,
that's reasonable.
Hashtag show us your dad, hashtag show us your bells.
I think we're being very reasonable.
Okay.
Okay? Look, if you would like to suggest a topic, do so. Please. There's a link in the show notes and also on our website, which is dogoonpod.com, and you can find us on social media at dogoonpod as well. Davey boy, boot this baby home.
We will be back next week with another episode. That is our pledge to you. But until then, I'll say thank you so much for listening and goodbye.
Later.
Bye.